I ain't never gave a fuck what the niggas say. I can't hear them clear cause the money in the way. You know how I give it up, running up the bucks. It's just no one thing, I ain't never giving up, hey. Cause I can't, dog. Gotta make amends for the past, dog. Should've been inside the game, I was slacking off. Going crazy and I cannot take the jacket off. I don't like it off. Double cup full of brown, ain't no acting involved. 6-piece Kennedys, catch me in the town. Cause I'm still in town. But the set shots, yeah, got the gang around. I'm the truth inside the booth for the beat town. The faces on me feeling like I'm beast now. Check the DNA, saying he a mutant, wow. Killer season and I got computers, it been a nuisance since the tennis dead. Then I had strong influence. When I lay it down and it's dead, I'm a shooter. Aiming for the head every time when I do it. Hope everybody enjoy their start to the week, family. And that's a given. Hey. Hey. I ain't never give a fuck what the niggas think. I got money in the way, you know how I give it up. What's going on, family? Hey, what's going on, family? Hey, 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 what's going on, gang? Like, hey, 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 we in here. Talking all that shit, but never say nothing. Talented and hungry, I don't waste nothing. Little niggas ain't got nothing for no real hunter. Never kill nothing, never spill nothing. I'm so power, bitch, woman, gotta stand show you can't get it off. I'm falling like I'm block hugging, nigga, check the score. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, beautiful people? All right, hope everybody had a great start to the week. Hope everybody had a great, fruitful, prosperous, cool, calm, and collected, right? Moon day. All right. We in post full moon vibes, guys. We are in post full moon vibes. All right. So we know there was a lot of downloads this weekend potentially. All right. There's a lot of downloads this weekend potentially. We're currently in the midst of making sense of a lot of changes taking place in our life, a lot of relationship realizations around this time. So I just want to get into some current transits so we understand what we're dealing with to start the week. All right. Then I want to jump right into things to look at your chart to understand your relationship karma. All right. There's a few significant ass placements that you could look at your chart so you could constantly work with when it comes to relationship circumstances in your life. All right. So I want to pinpoint where we create where the potential to develop certain behaviors are at, and being aware of what type of circumstances and issues and situations we may attract in our relationships. The better we know what we attract, the better we're able to navigate these, issues, misunderstandings, or whatever type of situation that may go left or whatnot in our relationships, because you will understand, okay, I got this going on in my 7th house. I got this aspect with my moon and my emotional, well-being. Got to understand how to respond to emotions with dealing with others in some type of shape or form this way. Or I got my Venus placement here. So there's a couple of things we want to look at. All right. So I just want to give y'all some of that astro sauce so y'all could go back, into the lab, look at y'all chart, start to dissect things, bring more clarity. It's Libra season. Once again, we just coming off this full moon. All right, so we all up in the midst of making sure we're trying to find balance between what we got going on in our personal lives and the people that we interact with. All right, so let's get some shout outs going in the building. Scarred Owl in the building. Mod Gang. I see you. Mod Gang in the building. Scarred Owl in the building. Olivia O. Cummins 08. I see you. Oh, live. You and your feelings in the building. Rebecca Ferreira in the building. Excuse me for Ferreira. Yeah, Ferreira. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong. All right, Bel Papillon. I hope you enjoyed your solar return weekend, Bel Papillon. Happy birthday to all my Librans out there. All right. K Ming, what's going on, family? What's going on? Martian Empress in the building. Martian Empress is in the building. She don't play about these live streams. She don't play. All right. We here. Stitch Saint said, take it easy on the Virgo rising today. I'm gonna try. Sorry. Sometimes, sometimes I get a little hot in the congregation. And there's certain constellations that has potential to get dragged on this good moon day. Can I get a ashe, church? Ashe. We just came off that post-full moon transit. Can I get a hallelujah? I know we were basking in the name of love this weekend. Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah. All right. I know these relationship energies in the air right now got us feeling troubled, challenged. All right, guys, I know we're in some troubling times when it comes to that air element. All right, guys, but if you keep the faith of a mustard seed, your relationships can prevail in this time. Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah. All right, let's pass them collection plates for the 12th time today. All right. Let's get into today's service, y'all. Sorry, I was a little late to church today, y'all. I was catching up a little Bible study with my young ones. All right. Amen. So, all right, guys. So, like I said, post full moon energies. This weekend was all about us figuring out, how our personal intentions, aspirations, how our personal outlook when it comes into the things we want to manifest in our personal life, what we want for self, right? That Aries energy that I am. We was balancing that out with that Sun and Libra, trying to understand how our relationships, influence what type of personal aspirations we have. So it could be a lot of situations many of us are dealing with right now, trying to make sure our individuality is established in our relationship, trying to point out different ways in how your partner may be inconsiderate towards certain relationship fundamentals. Regardless, there was a lot of potential around this time to be able to communicate differences. It's still some resolved energy in the air right now, guys. We still got Venus in Libra. All right. Mercury entered Libra today. Air signs are active. So people can't run from communication right now. We're dealing with energies where if you're running from communication in some type of shape or form, universe is pushing you to, not only embrace that conversation, that talk, expressing some shit, getting some shit off your chest to somebody. It may create scenarios where, you might end up in lack, or you might end up in more of a quote unquote negative position because you didn't exercise reasonable, mature, transparent communication in some type of shape or form. Some of y'all might be dealing with certain individuals in your life, and especially around this weekend, and it was just like, God damn, it don't matter how I communicate something, I can't get this motherfucker to see what I'm seeing. These things that we're trying to agree to disagree on are pretty hard to disagree to agree. So it may have been really hard trying to find that medium. Astro Girl Quay in the building. Kiss Wani in the building. Kiss Wani, what's going on? May have been a lot of power control issues to sort out over the weekend. Okay, once again, full moon. We were basking in the energies over the weekend. We were in observation mode, but as the week progresses, as we move towards, the rest of the Libra season, as that moon begins to shed and it gets ready to prepare for the new moon transit, we're going to be reacting to all of these things that we're downloading now when it comes into the, the imbalances in our relationships and whatnot. All right, guys. Hopefully none of y'all didn't have to deal with any extreme situations this weekend. All right. Hopefully y'all didn't have to deal with that. Shout out to the peace dealer, man. Shout out to the peace dealer. Y'all know how much he do for the Astro community. And I got a chance to watch a clip on his Aries full moon live stream. And he was talking about, I just felt the need to share this with y'all. He was talking about how don't be feeling bad about, entertaining some higher dimensional relationships while you got something stable in the third dimension already. You feel me? that when it comes to spiritual connection, y'all, when it comes to you connecting to soulmates, people you done related to, built a connection with in the past already. So it's like, it don't matter whether y'all bump in this lifetime or the next lifetime, the spiritual connection is already established. So when y'all do relate in a new experience, it's really y'all just reminding each other. All right. Once again, this is where love at first sight comes from. This is where, oh my God, it feels like I know you come from, because we really be knowing motherfuckers. So with all that being said, sometimes, people could be married, people could be in all different type of situations, but if you just end up rubbing shoulders with one of them soulmates, hey, man, universe and the astral realm be in full support of that type of relationship. So don't be letting these 3D relationships get in your way of your 7D, 8D, 9D love. All right, y'all? It's Libra season. I just feel like some of y'all needed to hear that. Motherfucker be in a whole relationship and shit. Your motherfucker soulmate want to show up all shiny and shit, glistening and shit, looking all perfect and shit. I swear, man, God and universe working in funny ways sometimes. Working really funny ways sometimes. All right, so just a little side gem, but with all that being said, y'all know, once again, we're going through a lot of experience a lot of shifts in our relationships. Now the moon entered Taurus today, guys. Okay, so we got Venus energy overload to start the week. Venus versus Mars in the building. Venus versus Mars in the building. Mod gang. So yeah, guys, we got Venus versus Mars. I mean, I said we got Venus versus Mars to start the week. We got Venus overload energy to start the week, y'all. Sun in Libra, Venus in Libra, the ruler's home, and the moon is in Taurus. So if you can't be understanding, if you can't be relatable, if you can't find an inch of compromise in your bones, in your vessel, if you can't be relatable, if you can't be cooperative, you the motherfucking problem around this time. Use the motherfucking problem around this time. I'm looking at your ass. I'm looking at your ass, right? I'm looking at your ass. Use the motherfucking problem right now. All right? We need to filter you demons out here messing it up for other people that could be in some healthy shit. All right? So if you get called out for being a demon this week in some type of shape or form, own your shit. Like, you know what? My bad. I forgot I'm back in a human body. I forgot I can't be on my devil shit. Gotta wait till I get back to the astral realm to get back on my devilish shit. Let me try to be a good human being down there. Some of y'all be needing that reminder. Like a motherfucker. But all jokes aside, y'all, with this Venus overload energy, with both signs ruled by Venus, having the luminaries transiting them this week, like that's what we want. We want love. We want healthy love. We want to place effort into connection right now. We want to place effort into understanding right now. This start of the week, you're going to feel like you need to sacrifice a lot in order to put energy and time towards the things that you love. So when there's so much Venus stimulation, the things that you truly value are highly emphasized around this time. So people, places, and things, your career aspirations, all of these things are highly stimulated, highly emphasized to start the week right now. All right. So this would be a great time to kind of let energy that settled. Well, I can't say it fully settled yet. We just came off the full moon. However, with the moon being in Taurus now, this is a more settled energy. This is more practical energy. This is more in the present energy. All right. So with them influences going on, guys, this would be a great time for you to see if you could, all right, let's have this conversation. All right, let me, deliver this message on how I feel, what's on my mind, in the most reasonable way as possible. All right. Access some of this Venus right now. We got to use it while we got access to it now. All right. Put time into every single thing that you want to grow right now, that you want, to expand in some type of shape or form. Anything that you appreciate, universe is pushing you to be proactive, connecting and feeding these things at the moment. All right. You angry about some shit over the full moon weekend? You frustrated about some shit with your partner recently? Venus and Libra, Moon and Taurus. Have you a little conversation. Go have you a little snack. Y'all go have a little conversation over a little snack, little peanut butter apples or some grapes. Feed each other some grapes and talk about it. All right, guys. All right. Now, with all of that being said, okay, the Venus was also opposing Chiron today. All right, Venus is opposing Chiron. So, anything opposing opposite to Venus is something that, is giving Venus friction, and we have to learn how to use Venus to heal it, value it, give it some love, give it some nurture, bring some understanding to it, And when it comes to Chiron, we know that deals with our wounds. So when it comes to the place where we have Aries in our natal chart, once again, this is an area for the past few, we could say a little bit year plus since Chiron been resonating in the house that you have Aries in, the house before that. But mostly Chiron and Aries, we've been experiencing a lot of situations in that house where when it comes into you taking initiative, you being the individual, you leading with your own vision in that house in some type of shape or form. Because in some type of shape or form, Aries, no matter what house Aries is in, is going to be pushing you to do that. They're going to be pushing you to do that. So if you have Aries or Mars in a house that you actually have to deal with others, you have to be more understanding of others in that environment. That's where you could deal with some friction, aka Mars in the 7th house, Mars in the 4th house. You can't just be so individual in them houses. You have to be understanding of what your family input is on things and your loved ones. You can't be so individual in the 7th house all the time. How you going to multiply, how you going to create more abundance for, business agreements, certain partnerships, networking opportunities, let alone romantic situations, if it's so easy to pick up on your individual intent in a group environment or something. So when you have Mars in these type of environments, relationship houses, houses where you're cooperating with others, it's important to understand how you can kind of, overdo it or be a little bit forceful, trying to get what may be rightfully yours, but in the manner you go about it, that can actually be self-destructive. All right. And understand you will also attract aggressive energies in this house too. All right. So Mars in 7th house, I already know what y'all be going through. Motherfuckers be having whole boxing matches with their partner, wake up in the morning, have the best morning sex in the world, give each other a kiss before they go to work. Last night, your head was hanging between the motherfucking wash and dryer. But that's that passion. That's that Mars in the 7th house love right there. That's that. If I can't have you, nobody can. Fuck that. I'm not finna get all these emotions and get all passionate about this relationship and another motherfucker get a chance to fuck with you. Mars is too goddamn possessive. That's another problem with Mars in these goddamn houses. So shout out to all my Mars and air signs, Mars and air houses, Mars and 7th houses. Y'all sit y'all asses down. All right. Y'all sit y'all asses down. Astro Girl Quay got that. Says she got that Mars trade in the 7th house. Okay, Sagittarius rising. You ain't having that shit right now, relationships. You ain't having that shit. Whoever you dating right now, they feeling a different energy from you right now. And Mars is up in there for a little minute. They're like, damn, she ain't having that shit. I asked her to help me do this shit earlier today. That she talking about, like, nah, I gotta start. I gotta start putting more time into what I got going on. I already showed you how to do that already. You should be able to do it on your own. Motherfuckers is moving on that type time right now. You got Mars transit in the 7th house. Some shit that you done showed your partner how to do is their time to learn how to do this shit. Now it's your friend's time to learn how to do this shit you've been telling them how to do individually. I done showed your ass enough times. God damn it. So yeah, man. Venus opposing Chiron, it puts us in a state where these situations in that Aries house within the past couple of years that we didn't take initiative, we didn't embrace the leadership role, we didn't say fuck what other people opinions are about what I want to create right here. All right, it's the I am. I have my own natural personal vision and instinct of what I want to build and lead and create and how I want to conduct things in this house. All right, so if it's a house that Aries has friction with, then it's going to be a little bit challenging, cultivating I am energy in the house. But nonetheless, we have to learn how to deal with these energies there. So when it comes to that house, all the times that you've in the past couple of years that you feel like, you didn't embrace all the I am themes, individuality, taking initiative, creating what you want to create, what you have a desire and a passion for in that house, and conducting things the way you personally want to conduct things in the house. All of these situations may be kind of heavy right now. All right. So it's not by mistake if you've been resonating heavy with energies over the weekend, thinking about like, damn, earlier in the year around April, or I remember these personal aspirations I had. I remember I had this personal idea to do this, that, and the third. If I would have started it by now, I would have had this much progress. All of those type of thoughts, feelings could have been heavy around this time, having certain frustrations with things you feel like should have more progress with by now. But, Venus opposite Chiron also shows us that, we do have the ability to heal ourselves. We do have the ability to capitalize amongst the mistakes and, experiences. We didn't embrace these things. All right. And these opportunities to embrace these energies or apply these energies, they haven't expired. They're going to keep showing themselves. They're going to keep appearing. So we want to make sure we're in a state right now that we're not sinking too heavy and, shifting into having a low self-esteem because of these things that happened in the past. These opportunities to assert your individuality. All right. These opportunities are going to continue to manifest. All right. We're gradually learning these lessons. So if there's something that we got to learn with Chiron in the house, something we got to learn with our node, something that we got to learn with a square in opposition, there's never going to be a point in your life that is like, all right, you mastered it. Boom. Now we're going to keep excelling and graduating. Maybe you get to a point in this lifetime that you really got a grasp on that square opposition, and that manifests into a certain gift or a certain form of experience that you bring into the next life. Because that's all we really doing. That's all we really doing. All right. So it is that important. This is the long-term spiritual effects of taking shadow work seriously, of, really trying to look at yourself and look at how you conduct yourself in relationship experiences to, attract more fruitful relationship experiences, and whatever it is, any type of personal habits, things that's going on in your life, the most challenging things in your life. We want to give these things the most focus and attention because these are usually the things that we sign contracts to make sure we take care of. We knew he was going to come down here and be able to experience different things that necessarily don't have nothing to do with our spiritual path, but we in a body, right? So we're going to experience, we're going to swim, we're going to motherfucking experience, we're going to connect, we're going to relate, we're going to create, we're going to test some of the gifts and powers that we brought here. We're going to be curious about certain things. But when it comes into them challenges, when it comes into that repeated karma, when it comes to them repeated relationship circumstances, when it comes to that repeated issues with your mom, these are the situations we need to motherfucking focus on. These are the situations we got to learn how to pace ourselves because we know it's something we may be dealing with long term. So, and this is part of what I'm going to be talking about when we look at relationship aspects. All right, guys. So once again, yeah, right. Just like Jacqueline just said, we got to keep evolving. All right. I ain't never see a star stay in the same place. Even if that motherfucker retrograde, that motherfucker still moving. So you never want to stay content as a spirit in the body. All right. Until we jump into the next motherfucker. All right. So Venus opposing Chiron and Aries, and there's also a lot of that being able to heal personal issues, dealing with personally asserting ourselves. A lot of that energy, because it was an opposition, this is why it might have been likely to lean and focus on more of the weaknesses, the negative things in our relationship a bit today. All right. If you had a little pessimistic feel about, or a little pessimistic, paranoid feel about how you might not be able to build a healthy foundation for something you value, whether it's a business or specifically relationship issues, it may have been you picking up some of that Venus opposition with Chiron. All right. You trying to align past mistakes or whatnot, things that need healing within your relationship circumstances, and kind of feeling, heavy energy, trying to understand how to build some foundation, you know, how to get these things in order. So try not to overwhelm yourself with them things around this time. Like I said, we got planets going, a couple more planets going direct this month, guys. Pluto just went direct. There's still a lot of downloads. That's really going to be the energy for the rest of the year for real. It's going to be a lot of clarity that's coming. It's going to come to the surface from a lot of the things we've been experiencing in the majority of the year, which was full of retrogrades. All right. So we're going to see a lot of the results. Planets go direct. We see results. We see if we've been doing our homework during the retrograde or if we've been bullshitting during our retrograde. You feel me? So this is specifically another reason why I'm saying we don't want to be having a heavy heart or sinking too much into the past or crying over spilt milk with things around this time, because it's very likely that a lot of repeated situations, a lot of things that, you know, once again, them top of the year aspirations, we're looking at the status of all of these things. So the things that are not where they want to be is, all right, man, we got some work to do. We got some work to do to get back in the lab, but we ain't finna hang our head about now. We ain't finna sink into energy. We know how energy works here, guys. We know how energy works here. So there's going to be some days you ain't feeling it. There's going to be some days it's a little rough, but we can't stay in that shit because we just showing universe we comfortable here. And universe is just going to keep providing more opportunities to stay in that comfortable space. All right. Now, if you know how to psych yourself up, you know, if you know how to be consistent with your affirmations, with your attitude about things in life, when you know how to understand that you're an abundant spirit, no matter what your bank account says. All right. Can I get an amen? When you're moving in them type of vibes, eventually you psyching yourself up. You could be broke as fuck, but you carrying an abundant, prosperous spirit and doing what you can to manifest the physical reality of that. See, that's the thing. That's where we getting fucked up when we get into this. When we get into manifesting and all that, motherfuckers think that they just gotta lay in their room, meditate on some shit real hard or some shit, focus, think on. Nah, you gotta shake and bake. We could feel heavy on the vision. You feel me? We could be passionate about the vision, but all the ideas and thoughts that you have to support that, to actually make it happen, we got to try these motherfuckers. We got to experiment. Once this motherfucker ain't working right here, we got to jump on the other plan. You feel me? Okay, we saw a little bit of results here. Okay, we're going to tweak something here. Okay, universe, we good. God, we good. Oh, no, God, universe, they sent the signal. Okay, they want me to change this with my, career aspiration, this and that. All right, universe is navigating me this way. All right, so it's a process when it comes to creating and manifesting, y'all. Amen. Life after 30 said faith without works is dead. All right, gang. So we still got a lot of shit to create and shift right now. All right, let's not hang our head over shit. All these new realizations and shit we're realizing in our relationships and the status of our personal progress. Yeah, I bet. Let's see what we do these next couple of months, though. Let's see what we do moving into 2023. The year ain't over. Shit. All right, gang. So that's what's going on with Venus opposing Chiron, and then Mercury's back in Libra, guys. Mercury is back in Libra, just entered a couple of hours ago. All right. So we've been dealing with Libra jumping back and forth from Libra. Mercury jumping back and forth from Libra into Virgo. So we had Libra and Virgo to close out this midsummer, around Virgo season, and then going into the fall season, Mercury, entered Libra for a little bit, early degrees Libra, before Sun and Venus got in there. So that's what really started stimulating how we started thinking about relationship circumstances and whatnot, start thinking ahead a little bit, relationships as the weather start changing and shit. All right. And then it got into retrograde mode and Moon walked all the way back to Virgo. All right. So Mercury is back in Libra right now. Is going to be dancing on that Virgo Libra cusp for the majority of the week, guys. So when Mercury's on that cusp, you got to remember Mercury is very stimulated when it's picking up Virgo energy. So Mercury and Virgo people, they're fucking intelligent as shit, okay? But they can overthink, and Mercury can drive them a little crazy at times. They can add a little bit too much extra detail to things, okay? Motherfucking Mercury and Virgo, you talking to a Virgo with Mercury and Virgo, a Leo with Mercury and Virgo, Libra with Mercury and Virgo, all three of their asses. All three. It don't matter if it's a Libra, Virgo, or Leo. If they got that Mercury and Virgo, they finna over-explain some shit to your ass. You ask them some simple shit. You ask them the most simplest shit in the world. Them niggas gonna give you all type of resources, He gonna give you everything. It's like, okay, Mercury and Virgo, sit your ass down. I ain't asked for all of that. I asked you for directions. That's all I asked you. You start breaking down the landscape of the state and the city. I didn't give a fuck about none of that. I want to know where Subways is at. A nigga want a sandwich. I don't know what the fuck you talking about right now. Motherfucker, Mercury and Virgo start over explaining some shit. Virgo energy want to make sure you Virgo energy want to make sure your ass secure. Don't ask Virgo for no goddamn directions. Ask him for anything else but directions. You ain't never. It's gonna be motherfucker. All right, see what you want to do. All right, after this, you want to go straight down. All right, about 3 blocks, right? But the 4th block is like a half block. Motherfucker is like cut off. It's like a little plaza. You make a right, you pull in there. You really could go 2 blocks down, go around. But if you just pulling through that plaza, it's like a little shortcut. All right, if police there, don't do that though. But you good. Just pass through there. All right. 2 lights down. Boom. Okay. The second light on that 3rd block, that motherfucker go fast. So if that bitch yellow, you could catch it. But, you know, be careful. They got the camera lights over there. Motherfucker got speeding ticket a little bit. You know, my black ass was late to work a little bit a couple weeks ago. I sped past that motherfucker, you know. But watch out for that camera, all right? And then, yeah, Subway's right there on the corner. You know, matter of fact, you know, I ain't really that busy right now. I was just about to go home and fix some more shit. I could follow me. You want to follow me? You want to follow me? You want to make sure you get there safe. You know, there's a lot of shit going on around here. You know, Mars and Gemini niggas is stealing a lot nowadays. You know, you heard about that. You hear about that? Them young boys that was stealing down there in the morning. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Hold on, let me send you a link. Let me send you an article so you can really get the full detail of what's going on and what I'm telling you. Virgo, sit your ass down, Virgo. I ain't asked you for all that. Just want a sandwich. God damn. That's my boss. Oh, you got a Virgo boss? Oh, shit. If you got a Virgo boss, motherfucker got to be on the guard 24/7. Motherfucker, Virgo boss own a restaurant, motherfucking chefs in the back smoking weed on their lunch break. As soon as a coworker pop up, Virgo boss, say, motherfucker, put this shit out. You better get your shit together. You better get your shit together. Virgo boss come in here and check everything. Smell the weed on you. Kitchen dirty. The fuck y'all doing in here? Hey, y'all niggas ain't changed the meats. Ain't do where the dishwasher at? Motherfuckers is getting fired fucking around with a Virgo boss. They gonna find somebody to replace your ass and get the job done. Virgo bosses, I like Virgo bosses though, because they the humble boss. Virgo boss come into the restaurant and get the job done. Like Virgo boss get the call like, yo, one of the chefs just quit. There's only 2 chefs here. It's a busy night. Virgo like, I'm on my way. Come in there, start getting busy with the chefs. Didn't have to do that as the owner is just chilling. Could have told them, well, you know, go call somebody else, get somebody else on the shift. Virgo boss gonna come into work, see owner of the restaurant. Now I'm finna cook it this motherfucker. We finna get this money this Friday night. We finna make sure my business finna stay organized like a motherfucker. I ain't finna have y'all little motherfuckers fuck my shit up. I'm going. I'll dock anybody pay out this motherfucker to get this shit right. Don't fuck around with no Virgo energy. So yeah, that Mercury and Virgo, Mercury's back in Libra now, but because Mercury energy is highly stimulated in Virgo, while it's on this cusp, right now Mercury 0 degrees, while it's on this 0, 1, 2 degree cusp going into Libra, we can be highly critical of our relationships around this time. So yeah, there's a lot of energy to resolve things, have harmonious communication on top of all the new realizations we're making with our relationships. We can be really critical. So, you know, you need to make sure that the things that you deem as an issue or whatnot in your relationships, is it really an issue? How serious is it? Ask yourself that shit around this time, because Mercury and Virgo find the issue. Mercury and Virgo trying to fix everything. Mercury and Virgo trying to fix everything. If you have this placement, if you have Mercury 28, 29 degrees Virgo, 0 degrees Libra, 1 or 2 degrees Libra, your ass critique everybody. Your ass is Kevin Samuels. Your ass critique everybody motherfucking relationship. It's something fucked up in everybody's relationship when it comes to Mercury and having Mercury on that cusp right there. Whole time your relationship in shambles. But you put some air alignments next to Mercury, and then the Virgo energy is there. So you got Libra gossiping ass picking up Mercury. So now you got a talkative Mercury placement by default because it's touching air energy. You feel me? And then you got Virgo by the shit. So the attention to detail with things with relationships and how people communicate and think is very high. Oh yeah, you're gonna have a motherfucker complaining about other people's relationships all day, every day. They see everything in relationships. They see everything. You got Libra, Virgo placements in your big three and shit. Y'all asses. Partner can't get away with nothing around y'all. Can't get away with nothing. Appreciate everybody hitting the like, share, subscrizzle. All right. If you're new here, we're happy to have you. Welcome to the Astro community. All right. We're all crazy. We're all crazy. We're all crazy here. Don't think nobody is normal in the spiritual community. The day we get enlightened, the day we get tuned out to spirituality, astrology, we already crazy. All right. Don't trust none of us if you do here. Let's see what y'all talking about. You know, I work at a restaurant. Motherfucker, shit. Listen. I worked at a restaurant before. Motherfucker flipping burgers, smoking weed like shit. I'm a Mars and Scorpio head ass nigga. Don't leave no valuable shit you don't really want around me. Give me that shit. I was in that motherfucker taking burgers home, pork chops. Don't hire me at a restaurant. Do not hire me to work at your restaurant. Because you finna come and stock up the shit at the end of the week. Like, wait, goddamn. I know we had extra turkey burgers out this motherfucker. Like, we all take slices of cheese, lettuce. Motherfuckers start taking condiments home. You know you's a greedy nigga. You work at a restaurant, you taking condiments home. Like, send me a couple 20 cash a week right here. Take me some ketchup. Motherfucker pouring barbecue in some bottles, little cap. You know, restaurants be having a little French fry, little ketchup bottles. Motherfucker pouring 5 of them shits after work. Listen, don't hire me at your motherfucking restaurant. Motherfucker, inventory gonna be lacking like a motherfucker. Stay away from them stimulated Mars placements. They're gonna take. If that's anything about a strong Mars placement, they finna take some shit. Remember, I was messing with this one chick. Thought I figured she was stealing from me. Right? Libra, Scorpio. We had Libra, Scorpio cusp. Her birthday was the day after mine. All right. So there's Mars right there. Okay. And she was Scorpio moon. I used to kick her every time. She left my crib a couple times. Like, yo, where the fuck my lighter go? Goddamn. This bitch be taking my lighters. Remember one time I had a roach. We were smoking weed. I had a roach. She left. I look at my ashtray. I'm like, where the fuck? I know. Looking under my bed and shit. Y'all Mars placements be stealing like a motherfucker. Mars and Gemini too, a little kleptomaniac. Mars and Capricorn. Motherfuckers will have a whole conversation with you, be just robbing you while you talking, plucking your earrings. Y'all ever see them shits when motherfuckers be getting robbed and the motherfucker be right there? Motherfucker be taking the belt off a nigga. Be ass naked at the end of a conversation with an Aries, Scorpio, Mars and any of them planets, Capricorn, Mars and Gemini, kleptomaniac. But all right, enough of y'all stealing tendencies. Be careful being overly critical of relationship circumstances right now, because you're gonna feel like you're seeing the details to everything, and we still getting fresh off the full moon, so it's gonna feel like these shit's gonna feel heavy. You see a detail, one little detail, you feel heavy on that shit. Shit not even that serious. It's not even that serious. All right. Be careful with Mercury this week making this transition from Virgo into Libra. But overall, once Virgo ends up getting settled into Libra, guys, this does help us to be more rational within our relationships during the course of this period. All right, and it's going to be in Libra until the 29th. It's going to be a Libra until the 29th. All right, and by that time, the Sun and Venus are already going to be in what's the name? Yeah, by that time, the Sun and Venus are already going to be in Scorpio. So, you know, like I was saying the other day, let's hash out these relationship circumstances because, you know, everything, we got to weed through everything when we get into Scorpio season. It ain't no patience for what's hidden in relationships. This is the time to be able to get to the hidden shit and the issues in the most harmonious way. This is the entrance in doing it in the harmonious way with the energies in Libra. You know, worst case scenario, just get ghosted around this motherfucking time. Worst case scenario. Scorpio season, motherfuckers be fighting over shit. Should just think a little deeper during Scorpio season. You feel me? You can't even get caught with little white lies during Scorpio season. That shit don't even look like a little white lie. You feel me? Why you like a page? Why you like a post? So by accident. That shit don't hold no weight. Nothing holds weight during Scorpio season. We get to the meats and potatoes of everything. So relationship circumstances, let's take care of them now because everything gonna start getting a little bit heavier once we get into Scorpio season. And everybody start getting into investigative mode. You start wanting to know everything your partner doing. You start trying to understand every feeling, thought, and emotion that your partner has, and you're gonna drive your monkey ass crazy. All right. So let's just be careful with that. But as Mercury is in Libra, let's make the most of it. Trying to get to seeing how solution-based we can get in our relationships. That's a nice goal to have. That's a nice goal to have with your partner, huh? Let's see how many solutions we can create this month. That is a nice goal. All right. So that's what we got going on with that. And then, guys, Pluto going direct. Pluto's officially direct, guys. All right. Now, we know Pluto travels at a slower speed, so the things that we manifest with Pluto is going to always deal with long-term energy. And, you know, Pluto rules our desires, influences rebirths in our life, influences regeneration, influences transformation. It deals with our, you know, deeper desires. It has somewhat of a influence on, like, you know, intimacy, but more so revolving around our deep desires. You know, what is it that we really have a long-term passion and burn for, but what are we willing to go through multiple transformations, multiple evolutions to manifest, you know? So while Pluto was retrograde for the majority of the year, this is why when it comes to a lot of bad habits and things that we have heavy desires for that we don't have no control over, no matter what it was. It might be sex for you. It might be weed for you. It might be alcohol. It might be shopping. It might be food. It might be love. It might be whatever the fuck. It might be gambling. Whatever it is, you know, a lot of these bad habits, deep desires that we don't have no control over, all right? These things came up to the surface this year, all right? And it forced us to see how we could stunt our progress and grow for our spiritual development overall if we allow these things to have control over us. Okay, so this is why when it comes to these things, y'all may have experienced some extreme shifts this year, trying to bring understanding to yourself, right? Trying to bring understanding as to why you gravitate towards these certain things that create bad habits, why you don't have control over these things, really get into the foundation of it. All right, so with that being said, that was the grace period for us to make sense of that. That was the grace period for us to see different ways that we could initiate transformation amongst bad habits or things we don't have control over that are controlling us. And, you know, Pluto, you know, well, all planets is spiritual, have spiritual influences, but, you know, Pluto is deep. Pluto gets very deep. Okay, because Pluto constantly wants you to evolve. Pluto constantly wants you to evolve, but it takes the shadow work route. Okay, Certain planets are influencing your growth, your expansion in different ways. Okay, the sun is dealing with growth and expansion through consciousness, through awareness, what you know, what you're aware of, the knowledge you have, knowledge of self that you have. All right, the moon is dealing with growth through understanding the subconscious, understanding your emotions, how you react to things, how vibrations work, understanding connection. All right, understanding psychology of relationships, or things that influence you or whatnot. All right, so all planets deal with growth, are helping us to grow in different ways. But once again, Pluto takes the shadow work route. So whatever house you have Pluto in, you're constantly going through evolutions, transformations in that house. You may deal with some different type of temptations and desires in that house in some type of shape or form. Or if you have a certain temptation and desire in your life, or a bad habit, the house Pluto's in can play out as a vessel. The house Pluto's in can play out as a vessel, as where these things are supported in a way, whether it's through co-workers, whether it's through your family environment, your neighborhood environment, your personal life or whatnot. So at the same time, we all have the potential to bring, a lot of healing in the house that we have Pluto in. And we can't fight the transformation there. That's what creates a lot of intense situations in our life. The more we can work with these generational planets, the more, because generational planets, once again, they move slower. So if you can embrace moving with time, allowing time to be within your goals, you not trying to take shortcuts, all right? You not forcing getting to the end. Planets like Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, you're basically moving amongst their temperament in a way, all right? So this starts to help you to make sense of short-term things in your life. Helps you make sense of smaller situations in your life if you have more of a grasp on what type of growth you want for yourself in the long run. All right. There's certain things you guys want for yourselves from a transformative development space, right? Whether it's something that you want to have certain knowledge about you want to have a certain knowledge about something within the next 5 to 10 years, certain credentials for something within the next 5 to 10 years. You want to be in a certain relationship or something, or have certain relationship experience within the next 5 to 10 years or whatnot. All right. But, whatever it is, the more that you understand, like, all right, that shit don't come overnight. And I know I'm going to go through changes on this journey. I know the way things are right now is going to be completely different. I know the way I think about this journey is going to be completely different on stage 3, 4, 5, 6, on my way to my goals. That helps you to deal with a whole lot of different situations. Certain people, places, and things, mundane relationship situations, and this, that, and the third, you start looking over them because you have more clarity of what you want for yourself in the long term. So that doesn't mean just because you have that intention that it's going to be so easy working towards those things. But you have a vision board, though. You ain't floating. You ain't just floating. It's like somebody that's dating with intention. If you're dating to seriously get married, I want to get married. I don't give a fuck. I want to get married. Anybody with no intention to get married, I'm not dating. If you stick to that, that's a lot of energy towards that goal. And that person that has that type of strong intention, it's going to be easier for them to not entertain smaller situations because they have more of an intention of what they want in the long term. There may be times that they slip up. There may be times they may, you're a human. Maybe times that they end up having casual sex, they end up doing something, end up getting into a little situation for a little bit or something, whatever. But if that long-term goal was strong enough, if you knew in some type of shape or form, I know I'm gonna go through the trenches or whatnot, go through the changes and transformations to get there. Eventually, you'll snap out of whatever it is that got you stuck, that got you, stagnant from what is it you want to create. All right, so that's just that. But yeah, guys, Pluto's going back direct. Look how deep Pluto is. I got to get into all of that shit just to give a description of Pluto energy. Pluto be doing the most. But we got to learn how to embrace these energies. They just want our best interest, y'all. That's it. You can have everybody in your family want your best interest. They just do it in different ways. Your mother's more nurturing. Your father's more of an enforcer. Your siblings are more relatable. You know, your aunts, uncles, or grandparents might be more wise with the way that they try to enforce growth for you. So you have to be able to detect how something in your life, whether it feels good or bad, what's to grow from it. You can grow from any type of vibration, any type of experience. All right, guys. So that's what we got going on with Pluto going direct. Now that it's going direct, look at the house that you have Pluto in, guys. Look at the house you have Capricorn in. Look at that Capricorn house. All right. Pluto's been in there for a little minute. All right. for about to seem like an age now. About to seem like a motherfucking decade that motherfucker been in there for a little bit. But with Pluto and Capricorn, guys, you know, we've been going through so many transformations, what we're trying to build, how we deal with stability and structure in that house. So we're going to be able to see things pick up pace right now. But once again, results and results from our tests and and our exams while Pluto was retrograde. We're seeing these things now, guys. Right now, it could almost, with Pluto being direct, it can almost feel like you know, you have an essay to do by the end of the week, and you had that shit is a 20-page paper, you know, and you had to the top of the summer to get it done. Now you got a week. AKA when it comes into our desires that we felt like we need to get a grasp over, when it comes into things that we felt like we had no control over, especially in the house in Capricorn, whether it's something you don't got no control over with a personal habit, something you don't have no control over within the career, you know, environment, you know, within the relationship department of your life, whatever it may be, you know, this is a time where we're going to see, you know, it may feel like I really need to get focused right now. I really need to get focused this week. I have all this time to understand this. Now I feel like if I really slip up, if I'm really undisciplined, or if I really get into a situation where one of these desires or something that, you know, has control over me, I have to deal with it, and it gets the best of me, I can see how it could really transform me around this time. So you may feel that type of pressure. All right. So real briefly, you know, if you're a Capricorn rising, you got Pluto in the first house. You're going to be experiencing situations right now where there's a very low tolerance for what doesn't bring personal growth and doesn't help you to personally build right now. You're going to have a very low tolerance because you feel the potential of how you can bring unnecessary changes and transformations in your life, you know, either lounging with your energy personally, not being intentional with your energy. It may feel like around this time, you know, if you're not assertive with things, you know, in your first house, that it could leave opportunity for a lot of things to go left. So you want to keep these things in mind around this time. Anything you feel like you need to self-check as this week progresses, these are things you need to make note of. You know, Capricorn in the first house, Pluto transit in the first house, Capricorn in the second house. You're about to see things pick up the pace. And another thing, Capricorn in the first house, once again, is direct. So you're going to start to see opportunities for things to pick up pace for what you're building in the first house, Capricorn. All right. So that's the potential you want to hold on to right now. Okay. With Pluto in the first house, Capricorn, it may feel like that this year was stagnant in a way when it comes into the things you wanted to change about yourself personally. You may have had weight goals. You know, it was first house, we're dealing with the body and all of that shit. You may have had goals with your weight, you know, things dealing with anything correlated to personal development. So around this time, whether you worked on these things or not, you know, don't hold your head on where your progress is at. Just know, you know, you don't want to be somewhat, you know, slacking with the things that you feel like you need to get more control over in the first house, because Pluto's going to get louder here now that it's direct. It's going to bring a little bit more pressure in some type of shape or form. All right. So then Capricorn in the second house, Stitch said, I just want to go outside and play. Pluto retrograde brought a lot of deep pain to the surface, but I'm ready for the rebirth during Pluto direct. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You preaching to the choir, Jacqueline. So, you know, Capricorn in the second house. All right. Pluto going direct in the second house. You know, these past couple of years, you've been going through a bunch of transformation when it comes into valuing the negative things. You know, probably being in low spaces at times with Pluto in the second house, feeling like, damn, how do I connect my value to the world? Because Pluto makes things more deeper and intense. So it could be something that you're talented with, you're gifted with. If you have Pluto in the Capricorn, Pluto in the second house in your natal, or Pluto transit in the second house, you know, it could be things that you have gifts with, things that you are talented with, you know. But with Pluto in the second house, your whole psychology about that shit may be a little too deep. It may be a little too deep to the point that, you know, you neglect yourself from even showing these talents and gifts here. And then you have to learn how to work with long-term transformation here as well. So when it comes into you showing the world your gifts, talents, using your gifts and talents, or what you feel like you're good at in the second house, what you have value with, when you start using these things to build, you know, Pluto makes you have to really sit down and stay patient here. All right. And that's hard. Not Pluto, excuse me, the second house overall. You have to be patient with what you're building, what you're trying to stabilize when it comes into your talents and the value you feel like you have. But with Pluto here, it brings the intensity. So you have to learn how to keep intensity, passion, long term, you know, and how to do that in a practical way. You may have to manage your frustrations a lot when it comes into, you know, what is it you're trying to create and build, you know, because the passion could be very high. The passion could be very high. Nonetheless, these people can be martyrs for their gifts and talents. These people, you know, these are people that'll say, you know, I don't really want to be nothing else but a rapper. Like, if I don't, like, I'm gonna die. You feel me? I'm gonna get rich off rapping, or it's gonna be my career. I'm gonna die trying. So they could get real intense in that way when it comes to what they value with Pluto in the second house. These are these type of individuals. You know, you have a child with Pluto in the second house, and they says they want to go to culinary art school and they want to be a top chef. They may do all of that shit, be going through their Saturn return 27, 28, 29, a broke chef shit. Motherfucker fucking it up though. Omelets, flipping the bitch in the air, catching the shit behind his back and shit. He nasty with it though. Talented. Family be hitting up to cook all type of shit. Nigga be making smoothies, milkshakes. Motherfucker like, nah, one day I'm going to have my own restaurant. I'm going to have a huge restaurant in LA. I'm going to be one of the top chefs in America. Pluto in the second house will die with that if that's what they truly value within themselves, you know, but they're going to go through a lot of transformations to get there. Pluto's going to see, all right, you really want that shit? You really desire it? Let's see how long you can sustain this in the second house. All right. And that's what generational planets do, guys. Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, it deals with a lot of having to sustain the energy long term. All right. So with Pluto transiting the second house, you feeling all these different type of energies here. These may be things that around this time with planets going direct, you know, you may feel a lot of clarity with these things. You know, you may feel a lot of clarity. You may almost feel like, you know, feel a little stupid, feel a little dumb, not to be offensive, guys, but, you know, you may feel a little disappointed in yourself because at this point, Pluto going direct and it's like, yo, what the fuck am I even overthinking? I know I'm talented with this. I know I should be valuing this within myself. Like, let me stop bitching about meeting certain time frames with this, having a certain brand or business this big by this time. I know I'm in this for the slow run. So let me sit down with the strong emotional intention and make whatever changes I need to make in order to, you know, feel like I'm building these things more effectively. All right. And that's what Pluto is helping you to see while it was retrograde, AKA what people, places, and things to shed from, to detach from, in order to get in this concentrated space with cultivating your second house gifts and talents. So your relationships may have went through some changes. You may have experienced some extreme things when it comes to valuing negative things while Pluto was retrograde. So who's this? Capricorn in second house, Sagittarius risings. Yeah, Sagittarius risings, Capricorn in the a lot of Sagittarius risings this year. Yeah, y'all relationships might have changed, or y'all might have experienced some extreme situations because there was something negative that y'all was valuing, and Pluto was like, yo, I'm retrograde, and you still not feeling the influence that some shit I could really shake some shit up in your life if you keep overindulging in this, or you don't get no grasp over this, or you don't understand how your shadow is doing a number with this person, place, or thing you're connecting to, overly valuing. You might have went through some shit, Sag rising, but hopefully right now you in a space like, yo, I'm glad either that's over, or you might be realizing with Pluto going direct, like I had to go through that. You know, and I don't want to go through that no more. I don't want to go through that type of change or transformation no more. So let me use this Pluto direct clarity to make sure, you know, that's just experience now. That's just wisdom. And I continue to bring the transformation into the world. I continue to have more of a stronger, sustained emotional intention when it comes into what I built, what I want to build, what I'm utilizing as a gifted talent, something I'm good at in order to show or connect my value into the world, and how I have more discipline and more discernment when it comes into who I value. Pluto don't play that in the second house. Pluto karma is very strong when it comes into you valuing the wrong relationships, you placing value, you having strong superficial tendencies here, you overvaluing, you being very materialistic. Pluto will humble you in that second house. Like Oscar Gabriel said, what's good, Oscar? Get obsessed with the goal. I like that. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling. What's good, Kaisha? Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that pressure a little bit to get right into Pluto first house, especially with my physical health. Yes. Please, guys. Yeah, I got some transformative planets transiting in the first house. Use that energy to bring transformation to your first house. All right, guys. We live in the era where, we got all this shit going on with body positivity. Then we got, people doing all different type of things to their body, regardless of how you feel about your body. You got some heavy transformative planets in the first house. You better get active with the motherfuckers in there. You got Pluto in that motherfucker right now. You got Saturn in there. All right. You set a real strong emotional intention on what type of physical development you want to see in your life, whether it's cleaning up your diet, your body, all of that, having better mental health, anything that you feel like you can actually create a routine, create better habits for you to physically feel better, look better. When you look better, you feel good. When you look good, you feel good, y'all. I don't care what motherfuckers say. Listen, I'm a Scorpio stellium, so I could be a little. I'll be having my days when it's just like, this week I'm good. I just want to be in the dark. Like this week I'm good. I know there'd be some times y'all be like, Bora, where you at? And that be some shit I'm working through. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, gang. Like, I love y'all, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You got heavy Scorpio placements. That's something we got to deal with. Sometimes our recharge process is self-detrimental. All right. But with all that being said, that ought to be sometimes. That's how it be sometimes. But yeah, well, all my motherfucking Scorpio plays, like, I already understand how that shit feel. I got Saturn in the first and all that, so you got strong planets like that are enforcing you to have more discipline and is screaming things at you to disconnect, from things that don't support your physical, spiritual, mental development any type of way. It just get real loud there when you have like transformative placements there. But you can make some shit shake while them planets is there. You can make some things shake in your first house with them planets is there. All right. Shit, wherever them generational planets is at, period, and wherever energies are transiting for you to access, period. The house you have Venus in right now, you're able to access that energy, to really locate your support system in the house in some type of shape or form, and we could look at how all the planets do that. All right. Olivia talk about, okay, there, boy, I hear you. I be having to hear this shit too, y'all. I be having to hear this shit too, y'all. All right. So yeah, Capricorn in the second house. That's what y'all got going on for the most part. Sag rises with Pluto going direct. You take power and control on your ability to have a strong emotional intention, which you feel like you have of value. All right. Now, I'm a Scorpio stellium. I'm an 8th house. Woo, shit. Mars, Mercury, is you think deep on everything. You think deep on. Listen, I got Mercury. I got the Mercury in my Scorpio stellium too, right in between Mars and Pluto. So my black ass, I think deep on everything. My mind change every day like a motherfucker. I'm already a Libra. We already wishy-washy like a motherfucker. You have your Mercury by all them transformative influences. We some unstable. We some mentally unstable motherfuckers. Mentally unstable. If you got Mercury like aspect conjunct, if you got Mercury conjunct Mars, Pluto, Uranus, Lilith, South Node, think a little too deep. Oh shit. Or your mind, your mind, your thoughts change a whole lot. You know, change a whole lot. So in different ways, your mind can adapt to a lot of new things. You know, you might have a real active mind, but trying to stable that motherfucker, not with them stimulated ass planets by your Mercury. Not with Mars, Mercury, Mars, Pluto, Uranus, all that shit. You either think too deep or your thoughts change a little bit too much. Your ass said you wanted to go to Red Lobster. Yesterday, that's what you said. Now we here and you talk about some other shit. Why didn't you say that when we left the house? Can't explain that shit. Is I just got Mars. My Mercury's making mad. My Mercury got a lot of activity. Even if you somebody that doesn't have Mercury like making conjunctions, but you got a lot of activity with your Mercury, it could be good activity. It could be sextiles and trines in this with the activity too. But you got Mercury sextile this, Mercury sextile Mars, Mercury sextile Venus, Mercury opposite the moon. You feel me? Mercury motherfucking in conjunct Lilith. You know, Mercury motherfucking conjunct Aldebaran. So your Mercury has mad activity going on. Your mind, you may have a gifted mind. You may even be a genius, but holy shit, is a lot of shit going on in that motherfucker. There's a lot of shit going on. Sometimes you don't even know how to articulate that shit. That's why you seem a little crazy, but you ain't crazy. You really smart as shit. But it's hard for you to kind of connect the mental body to the throat chakra sometimes. There's a disconnect. You know, a lot of motherfuckers be really called crazy is really because they have that issue at times. You know, this is like some shit Pisces deal with. This is shit strong 12th house placements deal with. This is shit, you know, strong Neptune placements deal with. Neptune by the sun, moon in the first house, Neptune by Mercury. That's another one. Neptune by Mercury. Holy shit. Your ass could write a classic album in a week, but your ass don't know what month this is, though. Motherfucking album sound better than Get Rich or Die Trying. This bitch sound better than Thriller, but this nigga don't even know what. This nigga's just in the studio high as hell, creating all this magic. Don't know what month we in right now. But this creativity, though, this is a hit. This is a hit. So Neptune energies, you just got to kind of respect their different ways of processing shit, and just whatever their process is, whatever Pisces 12th house placements, whatever their process is, creating their magic, you just got to don't get too deep in trying to understand this shit. Just let them do what they do. You're going to appreciate how they brought that 12th house energy down. You're going to appreciate listening to that Thriller album. You gonna appreciate listening to motherfucking College Dropout. You gonna appreciate listening to motherfucking Late Registration. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't give a fuck what you say about what shirts he's wearing. Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter. I don't give a fuck who he dated. I don't give a fuck what he said in the interview. Let that Pisces moon ass nigga create his magic. All right. I'm trying to get me another pair of Yeezys for my birthday this month. Shout out to Yeezy. All right. So shit, shout out to my Pisces placements. Shout out to my 12th house places. Don't know what season we in right now. Neptune in the first house. Neptune conjunct the sun, moon. 12th house in the sun, moon in the 12th house. Mercury in Pisces, Mercury in the 12th house. Y'all niggas is disassociated. All right. I'm a Neptune in the on the ascendant. 12th house on the cusp in 12th house on the ascendant. All right. I don't be here, y'all. I don't be here. And I need to be here. That's the thing. I ain't saying that in a good way. I be trying to come down here and make sense of all of this shit. All right. So deloaded, right? I'm a genius, but motherfuckers think I'm the dumbest motherfucker. I like it though. That's just give yo, I swear to God, y'all, like okay, if you have all them, if you have any of them placements I just mentioned, you might be able to relate to what I'm about to say right now. Like I said, I got Neptune on my ascendant, right? So when it comes into my personal outlook in the world, it's very dreamy, it's very imaginative, and can be very unrealistic at times. And and with that being said, like I was a very dreamy kid. So in school, I zone out in school, and I had to like kind of learn basics later in life. Like I was a little bit older in elementary school, really didn't know my multiplication table like that. If you had a conversation with me, you'd be like, oh, this is a little wise little motherfucker. Whose parents is this? Who's, you feel me? It'd be some shit motherfuckers my age wasn't talking about. But ask me what the fuck 9 times 8 is, a motherfucker be sitting there with the IE ass face. Save all that extra shit for the motherfucking Mercuries and Virgos and shit. Save all that shit for the Virgo 6th house placements. Don't ask me none of that multiplication table shit. Don't ask me shit about periodic elements. Only elements I know is the shit I learned about math and science through astrology. If you trying to teach me that shit out of textbook and shit, you lost me. I don't learn like that. You got visual learners. You got motherfuckers that learn in school. I'm a spiritual learner. That's what my shit is. Give me an experience. I solved the problem better from that. But all this calculator with this extra shit, motherfucker want me to get $100 calculator. I remember when I was in school, I'm not even making this up. I'm dead ass not even trying to be funny. I remember because you know, like how in geometry you be needing the brolic communicator, the brolic calculator, not the regular shit, not the 99-cent store staple shit. All right. If y'all could go back to high school, y'all remember you have to have the extra the shit you could do equations on and shit. My black ass came to school with like an important day, like that you needed that shit with a regular ass calculator. Niggas like, nigga, what the fuck is you about to do with that shit? I was like, nigga, I just thought it's better if I ain't come with nothing. I know it don't even matter if I have the calculator you need. I'm fucked on this test. I don't know none of this shit. All right. I just try to give some effort. Motherfuckers like, bro, if you don't put that little ass pink calculator, little ass purple calculator, can't do no equations on that shit. Sit the fuck down, Boro. So I was a little lost kid, y'all. Motherfucker ain't know what 9 times 8 was until like 7th grade. Motherfucker was still like, carry the 1. Motherfucker was still doing that shit in his head. So if you have strong Pisces placements, strong 12th house placements, a very strong Neptune aspect to your sun, moon on the ascendant or some shit, you probably experienced this. You ain't stupid. You ain't dumb. If you really paid attention, you could learn it. You could grasp it. But keeping your mind concentrated, like, okay, all right. So that's what you call long. That's long division. All right. So you got the short division. That's the long one. All right. Do they got medium division? No? Oh, all right, okay. So motherfucking Neptune be having to concentrate to get this shit right. God damn. I love my Pisces. Love my Pisces sun, moon, risings. Love my sun, moon in the 12th house. Love my Mercury in Pisces, my Mercury in the 12th house. But I relate. I know you ain't listen. I don't even know how to talk. Motherfucking Neptune just take your words sometimes. Listen, but I feel you. I understand. I'm here, y'all. We ain't stupid, y'all. Sometimes we be thinking we is, but we not. We not. I promise y'all we not. I promise we not. Okay? Shit. And the last one turned into the test. Now, for real, I just be knowing shit. I know it's just very bad, but I hate. Yo, I swear. Geometry, just once you taught me what squares and planets and opposite, okay, 90-degree angle one. Okay, this shit makes sense. All right, why y'all didn't teach me it like that? And Motherfuckers could just, if we just pre-K first grade, just start learning about the solar system and energy, all that other shit ain't, we would start looking down on that shit. You feel me? I mean, motherfuckers already be looking down on shit like, teacher, why we learning this shit? Motherfuckers be challenging their teachers like shit. Why we learning this shit? Little black sheep ass student. You got this young ass student fresh out of college, motherfucking nervous as hell, got his first job teaching little badass, ghetto ass kids in the hood, little timid ass young 24-year-old girl. She grew up in a nice family, nice home environment, don't really know about the hood. She think, oh, I'm gonna be a teacher when I grow up. First job, 24-year-old, little badass kids. Kids just got out of Rikers Island. 2 kids just got out of Rikers. Special ed kids coming into class, screaming shit, leaving. Motherfucking teachers be coming to school. Motherfuckers, good students be leaving the apple on the desk, right? She be coming to class, motherfucker, 2 bites in the apple. It's like, all right now, who the fuck bit the apple? If you gonna bring me a motherfucking apple, who got bite marks in this motherfucker? You bit this shit, leaving it here. You ain't gonna get extra credit like that. I don't want this shit. Teaching in the ghetto. So you say you want to be a teacher when you grow up. Jesus was in the hood. You better teach these little badass kids. They need education too. Shit. That's the problem. Y'all asses get overwhelmed in the hood. That's why the education fucked up in the hood. Y'all getting too overwhelmed with these motherfuckers. Learn these kids love language. Teach their ass. You getting mad because kids biting the apple. These little motherfuckers is hungry. All right. If you bit the apple too, you'd bond with them and they'd listen to your ass when you teach, but you ain't understanding this shit. Margatha. Agatha. I'm thinking of a conservative young lady name. Margaret. Bridget. Teach these black kids, Bridget. So you gotta be knowing what you ask for, y'all, because God gonna give you what you need and put you in a position. All right, you said you want to be in position to do this, right? God gonna put you in an environment to see if you made of what you really made of. Shout out to Mount Plush More. Appreciate the super chat. I love the name. Scorpio stellium first house. Sag stellium second house. Things have been crazy good this week. What you think, Boro? Oh, shit. Scorpio rising. So for the most part, as a Scorpio rising, what we got going on? We got we got Taurus in the second house. So it's probably some relationship clarity going through. You probably have way more tolerance for what's going on in your relationships. It's bringing more clarity to the first house. You feel me? Bringing more clarity to the first house right now. For the most part, where you got the sun transit, where you got the sun Libra. So Libra somewhere in the 12th house, you probably real isolated. So it's helping you to understand your internal energy some more right now. All right. So it might be a couple of chances that's hitting you in a certain place right now. But if you're a Scorpio rising, you really pretty much getting ready for your time right now. So you really just in the subconscious bubbling shit up, imagining shit, understanding how shit gonna work in the external realm, how you gonna connect shit out into the world, and how you gonna connect shit out into the world after you finish cultivating certain projects you might be working on, but you might be in a real isolated space right now as a Scorpio stellium because you got planets on the top horizon a bit. So you about to have a heavy first house. So whatever you feeling good, you need to stay concentrated and focused on everything you want to grow and expand in that first house because the sun finna jump in there very soon and charge up that first house. You feel me? Venus finna come in that house very soon. You don't know what type of opportunities, you know what type of support you finna manifest in there. All right, all that energy is already gonna push you to focus, on what you got going on in your first house. All that energy, Sun and Venus and Mercury getting in there soon. All that energy highlights the first house. So you're highly critical of yourself. You're highly aware of your potential, and it brings a low tolerance for anything that comes in front of that because Venus is there to push you to value self right now. So if there's imbalances in relationships with Venus transiting the first house, okay, it's easier for you to see. It's easier for you to feel like, all right, I got to pour into myself a little bit to make this relationship work because I feel like I can't even do my thing in this relationship because I'm not even really got what I got going on right. All right, so those are all the different type of shifts you may be experiencing right now. All right. Once again, shout out to you for the super chat, Mount Plush More. I'm glad that you're feeling good. All right. Teacher don't even want to beat it. Don't even want to be there. Expects me to learn. That ass though. That ass. School in the hood be crazy. Listen. Growing up in the Bronx. Listen, y'all. I got stories. I didn't see teachers flip desk. I didn't see students fight teachers. I didn't been real ignorant, y'all. So I get it. It's just crazy. Like, I'll talk to one of my peers that's an actual teacher that worked in school. Like, I knew a chick that was working in the school in the Bronx, and she would tell me like how it'd be real stressful at times. I think she was teaching like late middle school, like 7th or 8th grade. She Aquarius too, so she got a backbone. She ain't no soft chick. But she talked to me how she get overwhelmed, get stressed out and shit, and it would just bring me flashbacks as to when we were young, like when I was young, and we'd be real ignorant in school. Like I wasn't super ignorant, but there was levels of ignorance. I was not top tier. It was definitely motherfuckers excelling more than me. All right, but it just made me think like, God damn, we really kids is some assholes. Kids is assholes. Goddamn kids. Jacqueline says she's from the Bronx, so you already know. You probably dying thinking about the shit you done seen in middle school and high school. Oh my God, teaching kids in the Bronx. Good luck. Say a prayer. Say a prayer. Yeah, I was yeah, I was bad, y'all. I wasn't that bad though. I was like gas it up bad. I'm like, I wasn't started bad. I was, y'all niggas doing that. All right. I'm tag along bad. I'm the Libra. Tag me along to do some mischievous things, and I'm with you. I seen a post that said, I seen a post on Instagram that said, if you do it, I'll do it. Relationships are the most dangerous shits to be in. I seen that shit. I like, that's my type of relationship right there. I do it if you do it. Oh man. All right, guys. So yeah, guys, briefly running through these houses so we could just talk about, so I could point out the things in the chart, looking at a relationship. So 3rd house, Capricorn in the 3rd house. This would be my Scorpio risings. All right. So Capricorn in the 3rd house. Wait. Yeah. Capricorn in the 3rd house. You've been feeling like your reality is going to feel more stable, your ability to manage your relationships better in the past couple of years. May have been some significant changes and transformations with relationships that are close to home. Siblings, relatives, and roommates, people that's in your space, distant relatives, and all. There may have been a lot of shifts in the past couple of years within this area. You may have moved in the past couple of years, moved around in the past couple of years with Pluto shifting in your 3rd house. Now, when it comes to this year specifically with Pluto being retrograde here, a lot of relationships that enabled bad habits, desires that you don't have control over, right? Or people that were related to things that you didn't want to do. You felt a strong push to manage these relationships this year, So you drink a lot, you don't want to drink no more, and being in your own space and changing your environment and not being around certain individuals would help you to be more disciplined, not drinking. For a fact, you being on your own, you could do it on your own. But every time you get into the 3rd house, every time your cousin, your sibling, your friends, you get around them or whatnot, you start understanding like I be thinking I'm strong enough to not drink, but when I'm around them, like I just have to participate. You feel me? This year, you would have felt a strong push to manage these relationships, to tell them like, yo, I love y'all, but I need to make these changes and transformations to make my 3rd house, my environment, make me feel like I got more control of that shit. I don't feel like I got control when I'm feeling, tempted with whatever the shit is. We just using alcohol as a hypothetical situation, right? It could just be simply the mindset of people around you. It could be the ways that people think around you. All right. These may be things that you feel like you need to isolate yourself from. So all these different type of people that have different mentalities from the things that you would like to develop All right. You may have felt like you had to communicate these things to these people. You may have experienced transformations in your relationships based off of these things. All right. So now Pluto's going direct. You have clarity, understanding why you felt like you need to detach, why you may have experienced an extreme situation in your relationship or in your third house that changed or brought transformation, because it was something that you was heavily attached to. And Pluto kept sending signals like, I know this is a familiar habit. I know this is something that you picked up, as a teenage kid, because the third house has an emphasis on, adolescent stages. Like, I know this is something you've been attached to as a kid, but we have to evolve. So it's all of these different type of things. All right. So once again, now that Pluto's direct, is more clarity, understanding why you went through these transformations, why you may have manifested extreme situations, and why it would be, you would have more of a peace of mind, or you would feel more stable in your third house, your local environment or whatnot, if you manage your relationships consistently based off of these things, aka the difference in mentalities, the things that that they're into that will either enable you, tempt you to jump into more shadow energies. These are the relationships that you feel like, are transforming for the most part. All right. Tailored to you astrology. Mom died in September 2021, Cap Moon, third house. Sorry to hear that. So I'm so sorry to hear that. I already know she's sending you all type of abundant energy every single day, watching you shine down here. All right. But, Pluto, once again, Pluto third house, certain things that's familiar to you, closely connected to you, can take different type of changes and transform in different ways. So you just really want to be very conscious of who you're connecting to, what type of people's in your environment with Pluto in the third house. If you have Pluto in the third house in your natal chart, I already understand what type of potential Pluto may have brought to your adolescent stages of life, whether there's different type of turbulent relationships and all different type of turbulent relationships growing up as an adolescent, whether it's with friends, getting bullied, fighting with siblings, certain type of turbulent situations you may have had to deal with in your third house, fighting a lot. Pluto is intense, is volatile. So when you have it in an air house, especially the third house, there could be different forms of abuse. So I understand that transit is not easy. Having that placement is not easy there. But what does it do? It develops the mind differently here. These type of people have a deep understanding when it comes into psychology of how certain things influence others to think and have certain behaviors and habits. This is the high light and evolved side of that placement with Pluto in the third house. These people can counsel you. These people can bring heavy understanding and help you bring realizations to how your environment, your upbringing, relationships in your life, manifest certain characteristics and behaviors within you. Because once again, Pluto penetrates, guys. It penetrates. It gets to the foundation. It goes right. Remember, Mars and Pluto, they go right through things. They penetrate. They're not trying to dance around things. So if the third house rules, how we think and interact, relate, and communicate with others, in our relationship tendencies that were developed in our local environment with Pluto here, you're going to get to the shadow and the psychology of these things. All right. So this is what brings the potential for the relationship transformations in the third house throughout this year. And this is what also is what may feel like you have more developed, more clarity, or more of a developed, evolved way of looking at your relationships and what type of environment you want to have in your third house, what type of people, places, and things you want to have in your third house, what type of environment you want to be in. All right. So that's what we got going on there. Now, when we look at where we at, Capricorn in the fourth house, Libra risings. All right. So the majority of this year with Pluto being retrograde, you went through a lot of there was potential for a lot of transformation, shifts, extreme moments when it comes into your fourth house, your family environment, connections with your loved ones. Something that impacted the emotions, but was needed for you to understand your emotions on a deeper level, right? This could have been relationships. This could have been, certain things that you deeply care about. You got Capricorn in the fourth house, Libra rising. So certain things within your work, family life balance may have took a certain shift and transformed, may have had relationships family relationships transform based off of something going on in your 10th house, something going on the axis overall. You know, you trying to major in this in college, your parents disowned you. Like, damn, bitch, I just said I wanted to go to culinary art school. Motherfucker say you don't want to go to med school. I'm not your son no more. God damn. Fuck you too then, mama. Fuck, that's some bullshit. That real mother ain't gonna do that. You see what the fuck I be doing in the kitchen, motherfucker flapjack. What fuck were you saying about my French toast the other week? I ain't never had no French toast like this. Are you trying to shit on my dreams? It's Pluto in the 4th house, power and control issues in the 4th house. Why would I want to do it? Why, as a Libra rising, what I want to work on, what I want to be when I grow up? Why y'all can't let me blossom and build what I want to build? I already got Capricorn and Cancer on this axis, so I already got to take a lot of time structuring this shit in this lifetime. And y'all adding resistance to this shit. Libra rising, listen, Libra risings. Listen, man, that Capricorn in the 4th house, listen, I'm a Cap moon, so I get it. I gets it. Almost feel like I live a Libra rising life because I'm a Libra sun. So as a Libra sun, based off a Libra rising archetype, you know, as a Libra rising sun, you may experience Capricorn 4th house elements. This is something else that y'all got to understand. This is something else that bring understanding about your sun sign by default, or just certain characteristics of energies. You know, if we had the 12 houses, then over time we had stars aligning with each other, having sex with each other, transforming, and then eventually the constellations and bigger stars were born and made, and that's when we get, you know, the constellations that we know are among these 12 houses in the solar system. And you know, when you looking at when you're looking at the natural relationships, like signs are going to have natural relationships because these signs were in natural positions by default. All right. So Aries is naturally opposite Libra. Excuse me. So when you look at an Aries rising, right? When you look at all the signs in the houses that they like to be in, Aries in the 1st house, Taurus in the 2nd house, right? Gemini in the 3rd house. Aries rising energy is already, that position is already naturally squaring Cancer. So you may not be an Aries rising, you may be an Aries sun. But when it comes into Cancer-like energy in your life, by default, it don't matter if you have placements in the 4th house. It don't matter if you have Cancer placements. You're just an Aries sun. That natural relationship, that friction that was developed over time that Aries deals with Cancer, with that square energy, you a Capricorn rising and a Virgo moon, but you an Aries sun. So for some reason, you maybe some turbulence with the mother. May not be Aries sometimes may not have the best relationship with their mom. All right. You know, it may be some turbulence in the home. Aries sons at times can be black sheeps in their family. You know, they can have a strong individual presence in the household, and that could bring transformation in the home. All right. So this is natural. This is just natural. All right. So you could just look at it from that perspective. Okay. If you're a Virgo sun, Virgo naturally square Pisces. All right, as a ascendant, right? Well, overall, period, right? So as a Virgo sun, you know, with Pisces, where would Pisces be at for Virgo rising? It's in the opposite. I'm bugging. It's in the 7th house, right? So if you're a Virgo sun, you could be a Gemini rising, Aries moon. But if you're a Virgo sun, that relationship Virgo naturally has, being opposite to Pisces energy, right? Being opposite to that Pisces in the 7th house, with Virgo kind of being you know, on that 1st 7th house axis. As a Virgo sun, your relationships might feel a little dreamy at times. You know, your relationships might feel a little dreamy at times, may feel like there's no stability in your relationships. All your relationships take you into a dreamy space, an unstable space. Your emotions you're so sensitive in relationships. You have such high emotions. You stable about everything else. You know, even shit in career could be a little frustrating, but you at least stable when it comes to that. But when it comes into like love, intimacy, and all that, emotions be a little highly sensitive and shit. So, you know, if you move your sun sign into the 1st house as a rising sign, you'll see how you naturally like, oh shit, this is why I be going through this in the 4th house, the 10th house, or in the 7th house, or in my life period, in relationships. Like, even though I got this sign in that house, I'm a Virgo sun, so that natural relationship it has with Pisces, it'll play out like that. But just a little side gem. But anyways, so Libra risings, Capricorn in that 4th house. All right. Capricorn in that 4th house. So a lot of this year, it may have been a lot of shifts and potential, once again, extreme situations or transformations or things you were being pushed to transform based off of how it makes you feel. All right. Think people, places, and things that you were connected to that you felt like you had no control over, right? You connecting to these people, places, and things puts you in a place where, you know, it's hard for you to either make rational decisions or have a grasp over it in some type of shape or form. You may have felt like you were pushed to detach from these things, make changes from these things, right? So if you're in a certain relationship, you feel me, Libra rising, you're in a certain relationship and the shit make you feel uncomfortable, like you literally, you know, your emotions aren't thriving in a relationship in any type of shape or form, that will make your 4th house feel very imbalanced. All right, that'll make your 4th house feel very imbalanced. So in some type of shape or form, you may felt like you had to change that relationship, get out that relationship in some type of shape or form. So any type of situation, but these situations most likely was in the home environment, because we talking about the 4th house. These situations was most likely in the home environment. So it may have been, you know, some deep penetrative experiences with, you know, having conversations with your parents, with your mother, with a loved one, you know, some shadow work here with Pluto transiting the 4th house, aka with Capricorn. So almost a lot of moments that when it comes into, once again, work family life, it might have been some situations either dealing with pressure or dealing with heavy emotion towards how things are panning out between the work family life balance. And then with through all of that being said, Pluto, you know, pretty much has been putting you in a position where it's trying to get you to understand, you know, that finding that balance ain't easy. Finding that work family balance, Libra rising, you know, and you're a very relatable individual. So at times you'd like to have a harmonious, you know, being able to relate the things that you're building on in a relatable way with loved ones in some type of shape or form by default. You know, you'd love to have things that you're aspiring for in career be able to be connected to, related to, or even participated with loved ones as a Libra rising. So that could be a little frustrating when you can't really get that to happen. All right. So with Pluto in the 4th house, these are the different type of things that may have evolved you, aka bring a better understanding as far as how your individuality, you know, or the things that you're trying to cultivate in your life are different, separate from your loved ones, a deeper understanding about things that influenced you in your home environment and brought about certain traumas, wounds, tendencies, behaviors, because Pluto's penetrating the 4th house once again. May have been transformations in the home. Like I said, even extreme situations. Pluto's a very intense energy to have in the 4th house, a house that's dealing with understanding, nurturing your emotional well-being, family connections. All right. So you got Pluto there, you know, you're seeing all different things coming to the surface during the retrograde when it comes into what's giving you added pressure, added motherfucking, what's the word, burdens into your 4th house. These are all things that's just like, okay, it's already hard getting work and family life balance together. This alcohol habit don't help. This attachment over here don't help. So Pluto's helping you weed all of these things out so you can have some clarity processing things, you know, within your 4th house, within the home environment, some type of shape or form. So now that Pluto's going direct, guys, you know, once again, low tolerance, all right? Low tolerance for what makes you feel uncomfortable. Low tolerance, all right, for like lack of understanding with loved ones in the home environment, because you most likely was already experiencing going through those shifts, trying to bring the understanding, you know, while it was retrograde. So if you feel like you can't get it, the patience might be kind of low here a little bit. Now Pluto's direct. But yeah, for the most part, that's what we got going on. You know, you guys definitely had a nice little shadow work period with Pluto being retrograde here. So you understand all the things that you're attached to that, you know, don't make you feel stable mentally or emotionally here. All right. And at this point, you know, you should really feel like you have more of a sacred connection with your 4th house. You have more of a sacred connection and understanding what people, places, and things make you feel a certain way, and how you could bring change to how you feel. That's the last thing I'm gonna say, which is a very important thing. You know, with Pluto being retrograde in the fourth house, you've understood how you can heal yourself. You've understood how you could put yourself in different emotional spaces by concentrating or changing your attitude and approach towards certain things. So you may have had many shifts. You may have had certain weeks or certain months this year where when you had a great, when you were attentive towards your fourth house, what makes you comfortable, possibly dealing with your solitude in some type of shape or form, you've noticed how you felt more fulfilled, more alive, in some type of shape or form. So Pluto wants to make sure that you keep these things in mind and you don't allow things that throw heavy energies, right, or burdens into the fourth house here. Capricorn in the fifth house, Virgo rises. It could be a lot of regret. It could be a lot of regret. It could be a lot of motherfucking potential disappointment that you might have been feeling with Pluto in the fifth house while it was retrograde this year. Because when it comes into your creative expression, when it comes into things that you might have want to put on the stage, whether it's a gift, talent, some form of entertainment, art, awareness, something that you could teach, it don't matter. Something that you've had a desire, aspiration to put on the stage and be seen for it, especially if it's in the creative sense. And when it comes into, living life, jumping into more social energies, experiencing things that you want to experience, exploring a bit more, fifth house like energies, right? Creative like energies. With Pluto being retrograde here, it may have been situations that, you dealt with frustrations, feeling like, you're either not experiencing this part of life, or you go through a lot of transformations dealing with cultivating things in a creative way. All right. So Pluto retrograde was helping you understand how to cultivate with your creativity with more clarity. All right. It was helping you to understand what type of fifth house things, that you need to manage, that you may be overindulging into as well, with Pluto being retrograde here. Whether there's a lot of partying, whether there's certain relationships, whether it's, certain things you indulge into in leisure time, hobbies, things that bring imbalances into you, being more stable, cultivating creativity, or keeping concentration on a creative endeavor or something. Those are things Pluto was definitely highlighting around this time. All right. Wanted you to make changes with. Pluto overall transit in the fifth house, it can bring extreme situations when it comes to all type of creative processes, period. So whether, let's say, you was a part of a collaborative project, a creative group project, certain people that you have to interact with to get your creativity out there. You're an artist, so you got to deal with engineers, you got to deal with your manager or whatever. Like, there may have been some turbulent situations trying to get your intentions with the people you're creating with on the same page. Pluto retrograde was helping you to see the different intentions. But with Pluto being retrograde here overall, all the creative intentions that you have that you feel like you pushed to the back burner this year, you was feeling heavy on it, and you started feeling like you had to make certain sacrifices and changes in order to put more time and energy into your creative process, into the things that you feel like you could bring into fruition from your subconscious, from your imagination, from the gifts that you feel like you have, from the things you've put on the stage before and people say they want to see again. All right, whether it's designing clothes, art, teaching, all the different forms of things that you could jump into when it comes into self and creative expression. All right. Pluto's having you reprocess, like, yo, why we don't be setting that much intention in this house. All right. On top of revising any type of long-term intentions you may have already had in this house. All right. Alien Moon Mom in the building. All right. So that's what we got going on with Capricorn in the fifth house, Capricorn in the sixth house, my Leo risings. Capricorn in the sixth house, it may have been certain shifts that you experience with Pluto retrograde for the majority of this year. When it comes into your routine, your schedule, you may have made a real different change in your schedule. You was working 6 a.m. to motherfucking 3 p.m. or whatnot. You change your schedule from 4 p.m. to 12. And that's a huge schedule change, and it was a lot of adjustments you had to make. And then the first month your ass was coming to work a little late and shit. Your ass checks was a little low. Then you had to pick your pace back up. So it's like, damn, all these immediate changes or whatnot, or things shifting in my sixth house, I got to find ways to get control over it, in some type of shape or form. So that's one, while Pluto's retrograde. And as you was going through these different things, either miscellaneous changes going on with your workplace, your work environment, or you felt like you need to revise the intention you have of what you want to change in your sixth house. Either what habits you want to change with your diet regimen and your wellness, or what you want to change and transform within the career department. What type of career workplace environment you would like to work in. Would you like to move career to working at home? All right. May have even move different departments in the workplace, in some different type of shape or form, or realize you want to be in a different space, different department in your workplace or something. With Pluto being retrograde, you was revising the different intentions you have with the sixth house. And now that Pluto's direct, you should be picking up more clarity as to how to assert yourself with certain things in the sixth house, and what things don't support sixth house growth, aka within your regiment, diet, all right, and things that affect, your forms of wellness, your mental health, your health overall, your body, all of that, all right? So bad habits with eating, bad habits with, sleep schedule, bad habits with all that shit that affect your wellness. It may have been some extreme situations while Pluto was retrograde. It may have been some extreme moments you experienced, or some moments that when you went a long time with Pluto being retrograde, just disregarding being intentional about your sixth house. You may have some moments that really felt like, yo, what am I doing with my life? Like, I just feel so lost, so dark a little bit with Pluto in the sixth house. It probably put that dark influence there to make you feel like, yo, I got to do something to initiate a change or transformation with my schedule, routine, or what's affecting my mental health, like in some type of shape or form. All right. And you could find yourself possibly going through extreme situations, while Pluto was retrograde, trying to assert yourself in the sixth house. So now that it's direct, there's probably more clarity how to go about these situations. All right, to see where you individually fit in the sixth house, or how you like to individually cultivate your space in the sixth house, and what bad habits that you need to detach from in the sixth house. Now that Pluto's direct, karma gonna come a little different with Pluto in the sixth house. So there's a bad habit, something that you've been overindulging, eating, or something or whatnot. You're gonna find out sooner or later your ass got this, that, and the third, because your ass can't put the motherfucking sugar down. Pluto's sixth house you went to the hospital 3 times. The motherfucking Little W, I ain't gonna lie, them Little Debbie, the yellow Johns, the cupcakes, I ain't gonna lie, the Hostess Johns, I ain't gonna lie. You pick one of them motherfuckers up, it's hard to put a motherfucker down. All right. I was grocery shopping this weekend, motherfucker, seen some motherfucking new flavor toaster strudels out this motherfucker brown cinnamon. I ain't never seen them Johns before, but I couldn't pick them up because I knew what was gonna happen if I picked up one box. My ass was going to be going back to the store in 2 days, high as hell, gave me about 3-4 more of them boxes. Okay? Pluto would have put me in the extreme. If I had Pluto Capricorn in the sixth house, Pluto going direct, Pluto retrograde, shit like that, it would have been, I'm pretty sure it would have been a time I would have woke up at 1 in the mornings just feeling like a waste man, just feeling like I have no value in life, just waking up, motherfucking cupcake filling hanging off of motherfucking shit, Hostess cupcake, plastic all over the place, all over the bed, looking like a little cupcake junkie. All right, Pluto retrograde would have put you in a low place if you ain't cleaned that cupcake habit up, y'all. I'm telling you. Don't fuck with them motherfuckers. After you pick up one, is your ass. All right, so shit. Fuck wrong with Lil Debbie? Why this shit so sugary? Why this shit so? A motherfucker like a cheese Danish. Shit, want to make me happy? Fuck all the shit I say about Libras and Cap. Bring a nigga a cheese Danish. I'm finna call you tomorrow. We finna do what you want to do this weekend if you finna keep this habit up. No, a nigga got a sweet tooth, baby. Venus and Libra, my Venus stimulated. Don't bring a nigga cheese Danish. You ain't gonna be able to get away from me if you doing shit like that. So Capricorn in the 6th house, I hope y'all get that routine, regimen, wellness in order. Hope y'all get it in order because Pluto going direct. It ain't fucking around right now. If you not being intentional, assertive about what type of 6th house you want, what type of form of wellness you want, and being assertive with changing and transforming the things that you know keep you in a dark, negative, low space based off of a lack of attention to the 6th house, a lack of assertiveness in the 6th house, karma gonna hit a little different these next couple of weeks. And I don't want that. I don't want that for my Virgo risings. I don't want that. Not for my Virgo risings. I fucks with the Virgo risings. Some good people, man. All right. So that's what we got going on for my Virgo risings. All right. Hashtag Olivia said hashtag cupcake junkie, hashtag I love daters. Let it be known. Let's get that trending tonight. Let's get that trending. All right. Beware them little Debbies. So that's Capricorn in the 6th house. Capricorn in the 7th house. Cancer rises. So Cancer rises. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all asses might have dove into a deep space when it comes into relationships. Pluto being retrograde. Your ass is just revising all type of decisions, things that put you in a dark place in your relationships. You was processing changes and transformations in your relationships. You was processing what changes you need to make now in your relationships. You have potential to experience extreme situations with Pluto transit in 7th grade. That's the 7th grade, 7th house. I'm not surprised if that engagement was put on hold. I'm not surprised if y'all broke up. I'm not even surprised if somebody said they needed time, whether it was you or the person you was dating with Pluto going retrograde in that 7th house. All right. There was some relationship intentions that needed to be revised this year. And if you single with Pluto in this, if you single and you got Pluto in the 7th house, if you single and you got Pluto transit in the 7th house, you're Cancer rising. This year, you was learning why you have to be wise being single. Why it don't mean you could just be out here letting your desires fly free. Pluto transit in the 7th house, because that brings potential for a lot of relationship transformation. All right, that brings potential for a lot of relationship transformation. Motherfucking Pluto transiting the motherfucking 7th house. So you definitely got into some situations where you realize, like, you know what? If I ain't clear on the intentions of others, I'm not just going to be used for other people's motherfucking lust and temptations. I think I'm more holier than this. Pluto in the 7th house, you would start these past couple of years. I could imagine Cancer risings, which I've been good. Man, I ain't realizing y'all. I forgot Cancer rising. Y'all got that going on with Pluto in the 7th house. Extreme relationship revelations, but God, it may have came through a real rough understanding though. It may have been some real powerful shifts and breakthroughs you've had in these past couple of years, especially with Pluto being retrograde this year within relationships. It may have been some breakthroughs, but not easy. It's not easy. Some tough pills to swallow, but you finally understood something about yourself or something about this relationship or the intention of somebody in a partnership in some type of shape or form. May have been some hidden agendas, things exposed. Pluto being retrograde in your 7th house among partnerships you might have in your life, agreements that you've had entering Pluto being, what's the name? It's retrograde energy. So as Pluto's going direct, you have way more clarity of your intentions, dealing with people on a business level, dealing with people on a relationship level, things that you right now. Listen, Cancer risings. Cancer risings. You know, with Pluto here being retrograde, I really believe that you guys, y'all are in a space where y'all are understanding that, you know, because this is the first 7th house axis. So I really believe a lot of you guys are understanding that your energy is either contagious, valuable, or you starting to realize that people be fronting like they don't feel your energy a certain way. They don't need your energy or want your energy as much as you do. You know, so it's helping you to pinpoint how to divide that properly. You know, who's worthy of being in a relationship with you, friendship with you, being in your 1st house, being in your 7th house. You know, Pluto ain't got time to be just parlaying with anybody transit in the 7th house. You know, if I took a Pluto 7th house chick out to dinner, is a certain level of attentiveness this woman wants on this date. Pluto deals with precision, guys. Pluto's sharp, is pinpointed, is intentional. So people that have this placement in their natal can be impatient in relationships, can be extreme in relationships a little bit. You know, first date, you might be a little bit too extreme for me, like, you know, because you're highly invested in what the long-term potential of this relationship is. But, you know, getting to the warm-up points and shit might be a little hands-on. It's like, all right, baby, well, you spicy, goddamn. What's in your 7th house? Motherfuckers don't be wanting to let you see your birth chart. No, because you don't know everything. Oh, my God. You don't know everything about me. No, what you want to know? What placement you want to know? I'm not telling you my birth time. You're going to know everything. Oh, my God. Ain't nobody finna do nothing to your ass. What's your birth time, woman? Ain't got time to play with you. Motherfucker need to see where that sun fall. What's your purpose in my life? You need to see where that moon fall. I need to see them Venus aspects, baby. What type of activity you got going on in your love life? Acting like a motherfucker gonna do hoodoo on your ass. No, you gonna know everything. Let it be a mystery. Oh my God. What are you gonna do if I give it to you? If you don't. What you want to know, my Mercury? I'll tell you my midheaven. That's it. I don't want to know your funky ass midheaven. Just give me your motherfucking birth time, man. Playing all these games. You don't realize this is a turnoff. I'm an astrologer. You're trying to hide shit from me. How you don't know I'm trying to help your ass? How you don't know I'm trying to help your ass? That's the shit that get me. Yeah, you fuck with me. You don't need all them apps and shit. You gonna all right, baby. Moon and Scorpio, sit your ass down today. All right. Your boss probably gonna be on that bullshit during your lunch break. Just be careful how you respond to that. By the time you clock out, the moon gonna be in Sagittarius by that time. So you know, just make sure you go home. You know, get an extra shift in the gym today. Get an extra hour in the gym today, because tomorrow you probably not going to feel like working out. I know how you be with that moon in Sagittarius. All right, baby, see you later. Shit could be real cool, calm, and copacetic around this motherfucker. But you want, no, oh my God. I don't want you to know everything about me. Mars and Pluto in the 7th house and shit be like that and shit. That's y'all asses a little bit. You know, I wasn't even really saying that, thinking about y'all, but now that I think about it, because y'all asses is so to the point in the 7th house, but because Mars and Pluto energy is so guarded and defensive, this is a little issue when it comes into relationships, when it comes to Mars and Pluto in the 7th house. Mars and Pluto in Libra individuals at times. This is what y'all got to know about yourselves. Like, I don't mind letting you know what type of intentions and shit I got in a relationship, but I didn't really even get asked the way to what drink. Motherfucker even asked us what drinks we want yet and shit. Can we just get settled into this motherfucker first? Ain't nothing wrong with knowing what. All right, I want to know what your intentions is with this shit too, baby. I'm 29. I'm getting a little older. All right, I'm getting to my older bachelor stages of life. I can't be all over the place now. All right. I need about 2-3 things I could just go to all the time. I don't need no more new things. Just need about 2, 3, maybe 4 things that I could just, hey, baby, you Thursday, Friday, that's it. I don't really feel like switching it up a little bit too much. You feel me? You know, trying to put more time into the business. Let me get me a little poly thing going on. So Pluto, Mars, 7th house. Sit y'all asses down. Wait till the waiter at least ask us for the motherfucking drinks to ask me how many motherfucking kids I want and shit. Out this motherfucker. Y'all know that meme with the lady at the date like this? And the shit says me on the first date asking about astrology, metaphysics, this, that's Mars and Pluto. So sit y'all ass down. We gonna talk about all of that. We gonna talk LB ski in the building, LB ski in the building. All right. So right now, Pluto in the 7th house, your ass has been just revived. I know there's been potential for some extreme shifts and transformations in your relationships during Pluto being retrograde. I already know. It was some shit you started realizing, yo, I'm not receiving this. Or this intention going into the relationship, we had a mutual intention about some shit. That ain't the shit no more. There's a whole other shit going on now. So Pluto retrograde, you might have tried to get that intention, that mutual intention back intact. And it may have been struggles with that. It may have been some progress with that. But now that Pluto's direct, is not no misunderstanding whether the shit is imbalanced or not. You know what the intention of your relationships is. And if you're still in the air, give it a couple of more weeks with Pluto being direct now. It's going to come to the surface now. If you don't really understand the difference in intention with your partnerships that you may be amongst. All right. And understand the shit that changed and transformed while Pluto was retrograde in your relationships, it happened for a reason. Don't be holding your head trying to go back to it. Cancer rising, Pluto retrograde in your 7th house. If there was a relationship that heavily transformed and it expired in some type of shape or form, it expired for a reason. All right. Now that Pluto's direct, you're going to start to see more clarity as to why you kind of needed that energy out your space. Sometimes sometimes it take a little while for some shit to resonate for a little some when the planet go direct. So straight up, that's what Cancer got going on. How do you expect it to bring relief to Capricorn risings in March 23 when it finally leaves Capricorn? So it's probably going to be a couple of months into 2023 that Capricorn start feeling like things are a little bit of burdens are uplifted. You know, it's a generational planet. So a motherfucker don't like, if somebody was living with you for mad long, their presence might be still felt when they leave for a little bit. It might take a little while to start feeling like, okay, that energy not here no more. It's not like the moon. The moon come for the weekend and is out by Monday. You feel me? Got here Friday, is out Monday. That's it. The guest room don't damn near look the same. A motherfucker live with you for 6 years out this motherfucker. You might have to fix the guest room that shit was rented. That ain't no guest room out the motherfuckers. It's shit that motherfucker put thumbtacks on the wall, shit that was hung up. You feel me? There was all different type of shit here. The bathroom down there was set up a certain way. Shit, you got to repaint the motherfucker and whatnot. Motherfucker left some shit. Didn't put everything in storage. Still some shit left over here. So it's gonna take a couple of months until like midway 2023. When it comes to anything that Capricorn placements have been dealing with in a long-term sense, they can start to see positive things open up, prosperous opportunities open up from things they've been putting time into, all right? Or seeing opportunities to take a shift, make a change with what they're building in some type of shape or form. But it comes down to how you exercised Pluto energy while it was in Capricorn, though. It's not so much about shit, just miraculously all Capricorn. Did I just splash water? I just fucking splashed water all over my shit. It's not about Capricorns. Pluto left Capricorns. Now Capricorns is just all heavy energies, uplifted things is gonna pick up pace, this, that, and the third. Nah, it don't work like that. It don't necessarily work like that. Pluto was there and Pluto had a job. So Pluto didn't get that job done or get close to getting that job done or build a lot of experience trying to transform things with Capricorn energies. When it leaves, now you're going to feel like, damn, we got catching up to do. Damn, we're behind in some type of shape or form. All right. So, understanding what is it you intentional about building in the house you have Capricorn in, and understanding what is a priority and a responsibility in this house, and having the clear difference of that is very important around this time. That'll help you not be in a position, you know, next year, you know, Pluto transiting into Aquarius. And then, you know, when it comes to things within career, platforms, brands, businesses, you know, things dealing with debts, things dealing with legal issues, things we're supposed to be taking care of in Pluto while Pluto's in Capricorn, because it was already giving us mad pressure to make sure we bring the needed transformations with these things. It was also putting mad pressure on us, you know, these past couple of years to make sure bad habits that lead to us feeling unstable, that we get a grasp on that. That's why it got to stay there for a while. That's not a change that you can make overnight. That's not a change you can make in a year. You know, it might take years for somebody to understand how to start managing their money, but they've been making a lot of money since the age 23, 24, but it took them to get to like age 35 to understand how to really have a savings, to understand how to really deal with investing, to understand not to live, how to live check to check. So, you know, Pluto Capricorn is helping us understand how bad habits help us to, you know, affect our sense of stability. You know, these things are just taking place more in the house that you have Capricorn in. So that was a really good question. All right. It's going to transit my 29-degree first house Cap Mars. What do you think is going to happen? Pluto over Mars, transit at 29. 29 degrees, you know, 29 is quote unquote critical degree, but it's a very wise degree. All right. So when it comes to all the things that you feel like you're intentional about or you're concentrated on building and stabilizing, where at in the first house in your personal life, your personal aspirations, things that you feel like should be stable in your first house, there's going to be an extreme concentration there's going to be an extreme influence for you to tap into, to stay concentrated with everything that's already experienced with what you've been building there. But it's going to be extreme frustration with you not applying those things around that time. Extreme frustration. You know, you may project a whole lot around that time, you know. So you got to be able to have patience and pace yourself when it comes to things you want to bring development in the first house. How often do you mind sidereal? I actually got to get more active with sidereal. I started off with astrology with sidereal, and then, you know, my energy just pretty much brought me back to, you know, Western tropical Placidus energies. But, you know, I've been more open to whole sign sidereal and everything more as a more so lately, trying to really see what connections I can make, what understandings I can make, just, you know, analyzing both for real. All right, going to be getting that change done. Yup. When you look at it. All right. So boom. So that's Capricorn in the 7th house, y'all. All right, becoming more intentional and aligning with that intuition as to what you need to be more intentional about in the 7th house. Capricorn in the 8th house. All right. I think I'm just going to finish up, guys. I'm just going to finish up with Pluto direct through the houses. And tomorrow we're going to come back and I'm going to go through, you know, we'll probably have double subjects, but I'm going to go through the relationship karma in the chart. So we're going to do that tomorrow, guys. It's Monday. It's already midnight. I came on really late. We're already 2 hours. So I just want to finish up with Pluto direct energies. I always feel like I could get through. I thought I was gonna get through Pluto direct briefly, but y'all know how it is. Sometimes I'd be thinking I could do multiple subjects in a live stream, but I'm understanding, Boro, you got to tone it down. You feel me? Ain't nobody going nowhere. From we building community one day at a time. So that's what we got going on for my Cancer risings. Capricorn in the 8th house. So what we got going on there? That's my this is my Leo rise. No, excuse me, Gemini risings. Yeah, Gemini risings. Capricorn in the 8th house, Pluto retrograde in the 8th house. Now, Gemini risings these past couple of years, you know, when it comes to how you deal with intimacy, when it comes into how you connect to others on an intimate level, and the things you've learned from connecting to others on an intimate level, how you know, past relationship experiences, experiences in the home, how all of these things affect your emotions. You know, with Pluto being retrograde, it was putting you in a filtering state for you to understand what type of, you know, things is really deep down in the 8th house that we need to clean up a bit. Now, this is the thing. You've had Pluto in here for the past couple of years, and Pluto loved the 8th house, is home here. So, you know, you may have really had a strong intuition as to what things bring you into a dark place, what things make you feel mentally, emotionally unstable. And you may have went through some extreme shifts to build that understanding with Pluto in the 8th house. You know, Pluto's very intense everywhere it's at, but when it's in the 8th house, perfect place to be intense. So intense with the shadow work, intense with understanding self, intense with trying to be intentional about bringing change, transformation, shedding old skin, acknowledging bad habits, understanding your subconscious some more. So, these past couple of years, ain't haven't been no game with Pluto up in there, but when it's retrograde, this is you processing all of these things, so when it comes into your desires, when it comes into things you may not have control over from a desire perspective, right? Whether it's sex, it could be anything. It's the eighth house. You can have a desire for anything. All right. It doesn't just have to be sex, but you are definitely pushed while Pluto's retrograde to acknowledge these bad habits. Like if we're talking about any house with Pluto acknowledging bad habits, it's definitely the eighth house. You can't say you have Pluto retrograde in your eighth house and you're not aware of your bad habits. You're not aware of your shadow or what type of development your shadow need. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. You did not go this whole year and you're unaware of that. I don't want to hear it. Nope. I don't want to hear it. It's impossible. It's impossible. The emotional clarity is way too loud with Pluto here. It's way too loud. So every instance that's happened, aka let's say there's an issue with, once again, eighth house, we got everything deep here, right? Our traumas, our wounds on more of a quote unquote negative aspect, but then on a positive aspect, our deep passions, things that we're deeply motivated about, true intentions that we want to, embrace, connect to, feed in order to bring change and transformation in our life. All of that shit that bubbles in our gut, that's the eighth house. Whether it's something that got stuck down there that hurt us before, or something that sparked us, inspired us, and motivated us, and it's still been down there bubbling. Both of those elements are in the eighth house. So when we look at Pluto retrograde here, you're revising both of these things, all right? You're acknowledging what's making the shadow feel heavy. You're acknowledging how to work with the things that's heavy in the eighth house, right? How to work towards cultivating these things, passions and goals, or healing the shadow in some type of shape or form. So with all that being said, let's say it was certain, let's say you have attachment issues, hypothetically speaking. Let's say you have attachment issues in your relationships or some shit like that. With Pluto being retrograde here, if you started dating somebody around this time, and then you started jumping into an attachment energy, but you're conscious of it, I should probably chill, I should probably relax, this is not my place, but man, fuck that, this, that, and the third. Like, if you allowed yourself to do that around this time with Pluto retrograde, that's where a lot of the extreme moments came from. You not listening to your intuition as to how, you have to take this action or how to respond to something based off of this acknowledgement you have for a desire that you currently don't have no control over right now, but you're not unaware of it though. Once again, you're not unaware of it. Pluto is down there dancing with your shadow. So much potential to heal and transform right now. It's been that for the past couple of years for you here, but with Pluto being in its home state, it gets to give you the lesson as pure as possible. When Pluto's in a different house and it's trying to bring transformation into your life, dealing with your desires, dealing with power and control issues, it's gonna bring that wherever it's at, but it don't get to probably do it the way it would like to do it itself in the third house, in the second house, in the 11th house. But in the 8th house, it's like, oh, okay, I don't even need to use other things. Like, I can get right to the subconscious. I can get right to the shadow. I can get right to the desires, you feel me? So Pluto being retrograde here may have been tested a lot when it comes to things you don't have control over, overall bad habits. It may have been a lot of breakthroughs, potential for breakthroughs here. And hopefully you're leaning on that side of Pluto's retrograde, shift in the 8th house, aka clarity as to seeing how much development and transformation you could bring into your life, continuing to acknowledge your shadow, right? Continuing to acknowledge your shadow tendencies, all the things we name that could be shadow-like, right? all the things that are bad habits you need to improve about yourself. You're understanding how much potential transformation, positive transformation you could bring into your life with the clarity, with the possible times that, you were probably consistent or disciplined dealing with having control over something while Pluto was retrograde. Them little moments that you had, not being attached to this, acknowledging this desire and having control over it. It might have been a month while Pluto was retrograde, but then, you fell back off. But that 1 month right now is resonating with you heavy. Like, damn, I ain't gonna lie. When I had control of that shit, or I didn't allow myself to be, consumed by that person, place, or thing, when I didn't allow myself to sink that deep and stay that deep in that situation or whatnot, and I allowed myself, put myself more in a position to have control and understand I could be resilient towards that person, place, or thing, shit was flowing way more better around that time. I had way more emotional clarity. I felt more powerful having that type of control over certain desires or whatnot, certain things that I easily overindulge into or that I'm attached to. So right now, that's the things that may feel empowering with Pluto being direct in the 8th house. You may feel like, whatever type of new habit you're trying to start right now, you have the ability to initiate that, or whatever it is that you feel like that you need to detach from and sustain from in order to keep this space, your internal space, more clear, not feel so heavy down there. You may have also went through certain experiences for you not to feel so heavy on things that's down there in the 8th house, aka a relationship that hurt you. While Pluto's retrograde, it definitely puts you in a state to, revise those experiences in that relationship, so we could actually start, just making that situation lighter, aka we gaining the wisdom from it, but we're not, that heavy emotion ain't there, because we actually extracting, what was the spiritual intention behind me attracting that relationship, me attracting that type of hurt, me having to experience that, like, damn, I get it. Like, I get it. I was too attached, or I get it. I didn't understand that, or I get it. I was self-sabotaging. But whatever it is, I don't have to feel that bad about it, because I understand why I did that. I understand what influenced that in me, or I understand that part of myself some more, period. So should get very deep in the 8th house, guys. These are all the potential things that you could have been experiencing with Pluto being retrograde here, but you have extreme emotional clarity because Pluto gets to bring that awareness to you in this house the way it wants to. It's just that it could have been doing it in an extreme way. So especially for you guys, Gemini risings, relationships, career goals and passions that may have changed. Anything, amongst true aspirations and goals, whether they're relationship influence, career influence, any extreme shifts with these things, right? Those are signs of, directions that, experience that had to happen for certain things to make turn a certain direction. All right. Sometimes things change and we can't really understand what's the positive in it until the opportunity that fills that space pops up. All right. You just got to be waiting for that motherfucker. Sometimes that motherfucker take a long time to come. Like, all right, motherfucker, I sacrificed some shit 12 months ago at this motherfucker. Where the opportunities at, God? You're taking a little long. I know you got a lot of people to help. Been talking to you for a little while now. I ain't gonna lie. God be like, sit your ass down. Didn't they tell you when I come, that's the right time? That's the problem with y'all asses. That's why I be taking longer, because y'all be trying to rush me. When y'all rush me, I take longer. Y'all don't realize that yet? That's how God be talking to you. I don't know if y'all... sometimes I don't be hearing God as good as I should, but I heard that from God a lot of times. I don't know if y'all... I feel like some of y'all heard that shit. All right? So if y'all ain't hear that from God yet, I'm relating that message from him. Right? I'm a vessel right now. God be telling y'all, sit y'all ass down, stop rushing him. He gonna come when he come. You do your part. Don't be rushing me. My shit, I got some divine shit to take care of. You a part of me, so do your job. You do your job. All right? Rushing me and shit. You got a lot of shit to take care of. You want to rush me. You're not even ready for the shit I got ready. The shit I got ready for you, you're not even ready for it. So even if I show up right now, you can't use this shit. You can't use this opportunity. You ain't even ready for it. You ain't even finished experiencing the shit I got for you to experience, for you to be equipped with the tools for this shit. So stop calling me. Stop calling me. Get out that relationship first. Call that motherfucker first. Keep calling me. That's the motherfucker you need to call. That motherfucker. Handle that situation, that motherfucker. You might get a text from my black ass. All right. Might get a text from my alien looking ass because I'm God, so we can't call God black like that. You don't know what God like from my etheric looking self. What's wrong with me? From my black void looking. All right, I'm stopping. All right, my bad, y'all, my bad. But long story short, that's what's going on, Gemini risings. That's what's going on, Gemini risings. It's definitely a powerful time. It could feel like a very you could feel very self-encouraged around this time. You could feel like, you know, even no matter what type of extreme transformations you've made or breakthroughs you've had, shifts and extreme situations you've experienced with things that you've had no control over, right now you should be feeling like, you know, fuck it, that was yesterday, motherfucker, shit direct now. It should be some type of grasp. It should be some type of positive pattern. I could start with this shit right now. It takes 21 days to start a new habit. Are you telling me I can't do some shit for 21 days? Can't stop doing some shit for 21 days? All right, then. It's Pluto Direct. Pluto Direct is on your shoulder. Like, yes, motherfucker, we can. All right. Tomorrow's day number 1. We is not going to the store after work to get them cupcakes. We going straight home. Don't even look left when we bust that right on the app. Don't even look left. I don't even give a fuck if you need to look left to see where the car comes. Just if I'd rather be in the ER than be at motherfucking be in motherfucking Krispy Kremes tomorrow. All right, Pluto not playing that shit, y'all. I'm telling you, Pluto not playing that shit, y'all. It'd be that one spot you can't drive past after work. Yeah, if I drive past that spot one more time, those goddamn them goddamn beef patties with cheese. Motherfucker don't even be hungry. Motherfucker just, that's when you know you ain't got no control over some shit. When your ass just got to make sure when you drive past you get to, because you know you're going to want some shit later. That's how you know your ass need to sit down and talk to yourself. Shit, I had a heavy lunch at work, but let me just go in there and get me a little, let me get me them 2 strawberry cheesecake Danishes. They'll probably kick in later tonight, probably kick in tomorrow morning. Have this with my coffee. You don't need to be having this with coffee. Get you a little plain bagel, plain motherfucking wheat bagel. Get your ass out the door, go to work. Leave them damn Krispy Kremes alone. Pluto gonna kick your ass in that goddamn 8th house. Gemini rises, if y'all don't put that shit down. All right? All right, y'all. That's what we got going on for my Gem risings, all right? Pluto and Capricorn in the 9th house. Taurus risings. Capricorn in the 9th house, Taurus risings. Definitely a lot of, so we know the 9th house is dealing with, you know, house of education, you know, higher education. It's a spiritually inclined house. We're dealing with exploration, adventures. We're dealing with, you know, long distance travel. We're dealing with that bucket list. We're dealing with spiritual development here. We're dealing with philosophy, religion, your spiritual path. We're dealing with in-laws here, all right? So when we get into Pluto going retrograde in the 9th house, this is you revising your intentions that you've had in the 9th house, that you're supposed to be setting in the 9th house. So it could have been real easy this year to feel frustrated or be in a dark space just based off of you feeling like you haven't been as intentional as you should be in the 9th house, or you may have felt like, you know, you got to get proactive about dealing with whatever type of restrictions or obstacles, you know, you have in your way when it comes into experiencing or exploring, you know, the things that you want to jump into, whether it's certain programs you want to jump into, a certain place, how you actually do want to travel, experience new things, something that you want to explore and create. You know, we can tie creative energies and creative energies into the 9th house. You know, you'll feel that influence transiting significant transits in any fire house, 1st, 5th, or 9th. So, you know, when you have Pluto being retrograde in 9th house, you know, Pluto can make you frustrated here because he's gonna be rising all the times. Like, damn, I thought I thought there was a reason I couldn't experience or explore that in the past. And it really wasn't. It was me. Like either I was overthinking. I thought I didn't have these resources. I didn't just get up and do it. All right. So Pluto got you feeling for the majority of the year, whether you were heavy active in the ninth house or not this year, you know, whether you were traveling or not, whether there's certain things that, once again, you wanted to explore and experience, you didn't get a chance to jump into, whether there's certain things you wanted to apply yourself to learn, gain credentials for, educate yourself with, and whatnot. You know, while it's retrograde, this whole year, you might have been in a space where, you know, you were basically just resetting how you're going to go about, you know, approaching these things, how you're going to go about setting a new standard in the ninth house. You know, Pluto been transiting here the past couple of years. So just having, you know, Pluto and Capricorn in the ninth house, you already going through a lot of experiences, learning how to apply, you know, how to apply past lessons to things that you're building now. That may have been another thing with Pluto being retrograde, because Capricorn here. So as a Taurus rising with Capricorn in the ninth house, a lot of things that you're going to be intrigued to learn about is going to be probably business related or things to support how you gain stability, like, you know, being intrigued to learn about things that's probably going to help you make money or help support the things that's dealing with your creative endeavors, help you support the things, you know, it's Capricorn. So if it's in the ninth house, a lot of the times this Taurus rising is going to want to apply themselves to learn things that actually help them learn how to build some shit, you know. And it also, you're going to go through different shifts here by default with Capricorn here, learning how to look at what you manifest in reality from more of a spiritual perspective with Capricorn in the ninth house. This is something Tauruses have to learn here with Capricorn in the ninth house, Taurus risings. You know, they have to learn how to have some faith and have to learn how to not overwhelm themselves thinking that they either know it all, or it just comes down to a blueprint when it comes to what you're working. There's times your blueprint can be perfect, but God, universe, they're going to put certain challenges that you have to work through that you ain't see when you created that blueprint. It wasn't about the fact whether the blueprint was good or not with Capricorn there. It's not about that. It's about when that obstacle challenge came up, how did you respond to it? How did you respond to it in order to develop your character, gain some experience, and learn? And now, ultimately, Taurus rising start realizing Capricorn in the ninth house, like, okay, when you building something, you know, it's not just about the time, the work, the effort. Like, yes, those are important things, but it's also understanding, you know, how to apply what you're learning and learning how to have faith and be more open as to things navigating its own way when it comes to what I'm building. And that alone will take place within the firehouse union, within the first, fifth house, ninth house union for this Taurus rising. This is something Taurus rising will keep continuously learning in life. You know, by the time they start evolving with these things, now spiritually, they have a different outlook when they're creating, when they're building, when they're stabilizing something, right? You know, they may be a bit more composed and poised now with Capricorn in the ninth house, going through all them shifts of learning how to take time, building something, putting something together in the ninth house, and learning, you know, how to have faith in all of it working out, you know, learning how to apply experience from it before or whatnot. These are all the different things that's been rewinding for the Taurus rising. So now that Pluto's direct, there should be more clarity towards how you apply. Once again, apply past experience, past lessons from anything that you're building, from what you got going on right now. You can have like a whole business, Taurus rising, you have like a whole business project going on right now. You know, something that you in school learning. You in school right now. You about to be an esthetician or something, you feel me, and all of that. But you probably went through some shifts getting there. You probably thought you was going to be a motherfucking, you're going to be doing makeup 3 years ago. That Pluto, that might have been your attention 3 years ago with Pluto and this motherfucker. Now, right now, you about to get your licensing. You got two more months of school to get that degree. You feel me? And you're already looking at, okay, going into 2023, if I start working by mid-January, boom, 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 by my birthday, this, that, and the third, I had this much. So you direct, Pluto going direct in that sense, something you may be building. You're starting to realize how your past experience that you ain't know was valuable back then when you was going through them frustrations a couple of years ago, trying to understand what this all mean, what I'm building, what the fuck all this shit mean. What's the point of me having to get stable with this motherfucker? Like, I might as well just work and die. Is that like, so all these different transformations, Pluto and Capricorn, and put you in the ninth house. You correlating spirituality and the physical realm and earth and what you got going on with your responsibilities, priorities. So a bunch of shifts with how you look at career and all of that by default. So right now is more so, it should be a stronger, a more clear intention as to, okay, I'm experienced with this. I went through them changes and transformations, but shit, that shit was rough. But it brought experience. You know, I'm more clear about what I'm doing now. You know, so let me stay assertive with these things, and let me remember. Let me keep in mind what is it that I learned. Let me keep in mind what is it that I download from all these different transformations, trying to understand how to build something, work something. You know, and let me put more faith into it. Let me be more open into things, navigating the way it's going to navigate while sticking to this clear intention here. All right. On top of all different type of shifts you may have experienced from a spiritual perspective while Pluto was retrograde too. You know, while Pluto's retrograde, there may be certain spiritual, there may be certain things correlated to your, you know, spiritual philosophy or whatnot that you shed skin with. You know, certain things that you had to realize you had to have a more evolved way of looking at. You know, ninth house start getting into all type of philosophies about shit. So it could be relationship philosophies while Pluto is retrograde. You start realizing, like, damn, this is why I be attracting motherfucker. Any planet going retrograde in the ninth house, it don't matter if it's Mercury, Pluto, Uranus. If it's in the ninth house and it's going retrograde, best believe you finna leave. When that planet go direct, there's some shit that you experienced before that planet went retrograde that you didn't know how to make. You didn't know what the meaning for that shit was. You best believe while that planet is retrograde in the ninth house, you finna have a new philosophy. You finna have a new reason, understanding, a new meaning towards why you attracted that experience. So with Pluto going direct in the ninth house, these are the things you may have more clarity about. Like, damn, that's why I wasn't making sales in my business. That's why it took me so long to get situated and actually start the business, because I had these distractions, these bad habits, these desires or whatnot. And I had to learn how to look at them things as a more evolved way to help me have, you know, be more effective building my stability in whatever type of shape or form. Or this is why I had to go through certain transformations, because I wasn't intentional, concentrated as to what I was building to learn what I needed to learn. So these are like all the different type of things like you experiencing right now, or probably picking up right now at the point with Pluto transit in the ninth house. You feel me? You know, because with Pluto in the ninth house, you finna be real, and you're supposed to be intentional about what you're pursuing knowledge for. Pluto, you're gonna feel idle if it is nothing that you're expanding upon with Pluto in the ninth house. You know, if you have Pluto in your natal, this is what you pick up on by default. You got Pluto in the ninth house. You know, these people they get real concentrated and dive really deep into anything that they do want to educate themselves about. They can become obsessive with the things that they're into spiritually. You know, you Pluto in the ninth house person, the first time they got into astrology, you ain't see their ass the next 3 weeks. Pluto in the ninth house, if they a Muslim, it's Ramadan all year. We fasting all year. Y'all don't really believe in Allah for real. Y'all not really embracing this. We got to take it to another level, y'all. We got to take it to another level. We ain't eating nothing all year. All right, God gonna know what type time we on. Like Pluto in the ninth house, if you don't sit your militant spiritual ass down, you're gonna have all of us famined like a motherfucker out this motherfucker. In the name of God, in the name of Allah. Pluto in the ninth house will fight you over spirituality. I'm not even joking right now. Don't come at Pluto in the ninth house God. Don't do that. You're going to start some spiritual warfare like shit. No bullshit. They already went through a lot of fighting to get to their belief system. They already whooped their siblings' ass, their auntie, uncle ass for saying some stupid shit to them at Thanksgiving. You know, auntie, uncle said some shit about your chakra bracelet or something. Said something about your boyfriend that you brought from college to Thanksgiving. You know, you brought a conscious nigga. Nigga came in there talking about the vaccine and shit. Motherfuckers is like, yo, you know what? You always brought instability to this family. You know, so Pluto in the ninth house already went through shifts with family members and all that to fight for their belief systems and shit. You know, motherfucker come to Thanksgiving or more and shit. It's like, oh hell nah. Last year you was a Muslim, now you's a more. Like I be transforming in like I evolved. Like this is what I'm resonating with right now. Y'all want some of the red hats? Yeah, I got some in the trunk. Motherfucker cousin looking at this shit like, I ain't gonna lie, I don't really fuck with that more shit, but I ain't gonna lie. That hat do go good with my Timbs. I ain't gonna lie. You got a size that shit a little too big. You got a medium in that one? Yeah, let me see how that shit look. They gonna get mad at me if I wear this. They gonna get. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. Pluto, the 9th house. Pick a religion and sit your ass down. Pick a god and talk to him and stop bothering everybody else. All right, which y'all ready to die for God? Which y'all ready to die for y'all Lord and Savior? I'm telling you, Pluto 9th house is militant over their God. So, once again, now that Pluto's direct, you can. With that being said, that was all funny, but with Pluto being direct, there's a low tolerance for all of that shit right now. You know, what you truly believe in, what you truly are aspiring to expand, what you're truly aspiring to, you know, let's say you do want to be, all jokes aside, let's say you're in school right now and you're about to get that esthetician degree in the next couple of months. Right now, Pluto going direct, there's a little bit more intensity with your loved one, your parent or whatnot, not fucking with that. Like, you know, you could have been something else better in life. I saw so much potential in you. I saw so much potential in you. And you, what you call it again? Esther what? What? Easter? Esthetician, ma. What? Esther passed away. Esther passed away 6 months ago. Not Esther, Mom. I'm not talking about Auntie Esther. Esthetician. Excuse me, babe. I thought you brought up Esther. You know, I was just thinking about her the other day. Did you know that photo album that I left downstairs is a bunch of pictures of Esther? You know what, Ma? I'm see you next week. Get some water. Fucking around with you, Ma. Anybody talking about Esther? Niggas getting shot in the name of God, fucking around with Pluto and Capricorn. So, yo, fashion skunk in the building. Yeah, my mic don't work no more, man. I gotta get a new mic. Don't worry, next mic I pull out gonna be some fire shit. We really lit when I get my next John. All right, so look. You can't hear me well? Y'all can't hear me well? But anyway, all right, yeah, let's wrap it up. So, yeah, Capricorn in 9th house. Yeah, be careful being too defensive with things that you really aspiring to believe in. You know what type of transformations and shifts you done went through, transformations you done already went to get to this point. Now Pluto's going direct. You stick to your clear intention to becoming an esthetician. Then when your ass is all booked and busy mid next year, motherfucker, your mom, she gonna know is called esthetician then. She gonna know you ain't talking about Auntie Esther. She gonna know exactly how to pronounce that shit when she calling you like, hey baby, you know, I was just wondering what, but okay, Ma, I sent you the 300 to your cash app. Just don't even, I sent it already. Baby, you know, ever since you was, the doctor said you was gonna be special when you came out. Ma, I don't want to hear the bullshit. Last year you was shaming me for being an esthetician. Baby, no, I wasn't. I thought you was talking about Auntie Esther. I thought you were talking about something else, baby. You always bring that up, and I told you that's not what I meant. So, All right, let me stop, y'all. So that's what y'all got going on, Pluto in the ninth house. You keep that clear intention as to what is it you feel like you about to conclude with this journey, or what you about to, the intention you're stepping into, the clear intention you stepping into as to what is it you want to learn, going to get that credential, that degree to be an esthetician. Finally, learning that you went through these transitions and you had to fight for this shit for a reason to be where you at right now, to have the type of clarity you have as to what experience that you want to learn. I mean, you want to gain from a situation. It may be certain things too with Pluto being retrograde that you had to revise. If I start this journey, if I go to this school, if I do this, it's going to affect the people around me. And the third, Pluto being retrograde was getting you to understand you got to kind of get more centered with your intention. Like, people got their own ninth house. If people want to go learn things, travel this, experience that, that's what they're going to do. You're going to overwhelm yourself, overly compromising what the fuck you doing in your ninth house because another motherfucker. Pluto don't play that in the ninth house. Pluto ain't compromising that in the ninth house. Pluto ain't compromising what they want to experience, learn, and adventure, what intentions they have on that. So with that Pluto transiting there, that's the pressure over these past couple of years you've been feeling. All right. That's why you may have went through them extreme shifts and transformations fighting for that. Once again, if Pluto in the ninth house, they got stories. They already got stories for you. Oh yeah, I got kicked out when I was 14 once I said Jesus ain't real. I got stories. All right. Pluto in the ninth house, I'm telling you. Pluto in the ninth house got their ass whooped because they ass came to church late. Their parents found out they wasn't at Bible study Sunday, got their ass whooped, abused in the name of Christianity. Like niggas be getting their ass whooped in the name of Jesus. That's a whole another story. Like, damn. Does Jesus know you whipping my ass like this? I should have said that to my mom when I was younger. That might have worked. Fuck. I'm thinking about that a little too late. You might have made her think a little bit. Ma, listen, look. When Jesus beat me like this, that might have clicked a little bit. If that ain't helped, that's it. I ain't got nothing more brilliant than that. But now that I think about it, that's pretty sharp. That's pretty sharp. You gotta know how to use reverse psychology like a motherfucker out here. I'm gonna use Jesus against your ass. Jesus would not whip my ass like this. This is totally out of context in that book you be reading. She start thinking about that shit a little bit though. If my mom a diehard Christian, my mom on the front line for Jesus for real. So I know if I would have said that shit to my mom, she would thought about that shit sooner or later a little bit. Maybe that boy got a point. Maybe Jesus was using him as a vessel around that time. Maybe I do need to ease up. Maybe he will come around to the name of God sooner or later. He a little demon right now, though. With some little colorful rocks in his room. I know that's what it is. It's them rocks, them colorful rocks. I knew them rocks was evil. I never seen a pink rock before. Once I seen a rock that wasn't gray or black, once my son started bringing home green, red rocks, this is a Christian Nigerian mom for you. This is day psyche. Once I seen my son bringing home green, red rocks, I knew the devil had him. I never seen that in my life. So sending love to all my Pluto in the ninth houses. All right, sending love to y'all. Capricorn in the 10th. Capricorn in the 10th house. Capricorn in the 10th house. This is my I'm having a brain fart, y'all. Aries rising. How the fuck I have a brain fart on that one? Aries rising. Capricorn in the 10th house. Aries rising. Look, with these energies, being excuse me, with these energies, Pluto retrograde in that 10th house. First of all, your ass cut everybody ass off this year in the name of a paycheck. Your ass made some sacrifices, went through some extreme shifts and changes because you realize I'm finna concentrate and set the utmost precise intention on what the fuck I want in this 10th house. All right. And if you wasn't doing that, this was why you experienced a lot of transformation with stability this year. This is why. Because when Pluto was retrograde, there was no clear intention. You wasn't revising past intentions in this house. You know, you wasn't revising the status of certain goals and, you know, quotas and things, aspirations you have in the 10th house. All right. So the lack of attentiveness with Pluto creates the potential for the extreme chaotic transformations, for the volatile transformations, you know. So we don't want, when it comes to where Pluto's transiting and when it comes to the house you have Pluto in, you could just look at the house you have Pluto in, just look at the house. Just look at the house you have Pluto in and think about your life when you're not focused about that house. Really, really think about it. Look at the house you have Pluto in and just think about in that house how life would look if you did not have no intention in the house. If you just allowed yourself to disregard that house in some type of shape or form, you would realize how much of an influence that house really has in your life. You know, how much it is important to be intentional about the house, because you're going to naturally start thinking about all the times shit went extremely left in that house because you have Pluto there. So the times that you're extremely neglecting intention in this house is going to be extreme circumstances to make you pay attention and set some intention in this house and get some order in here. You feel me? And understand what the negative energies are in that environment to distract you in the first place. All right. So, you know, things kind of come down to more of a hidden look behind the scenes, deeper underworld type of energy where Pluto, wherever it's at. And with Pluto in the 10th house, Aries rising, you know, this year, it was definitely a lot of revisions as to how you're going to position yourself where you want to position yourself within career, you know, or how you need to have more of a clear intention with how you want to be seen in the world. And what was probably harder on making that decision is not on what it was. What is it that you want to pursue in career, where you want to be in career? You know, that probably wasn't the hardest thing. The hardest thing was understanding that shit not gonna come overnight. That was probably the hardest thing to understand. So you probably went through a lot of shifts this year, Aries rising, trying to understand the fastest route to do shit in that 10th house until potentially either right now or throughout this retrograde, sometime throughout the year. That motherfucker THs be fucking a nigga. Motherfucker got a lisp out this motherfucker. THs got a nigga feeling like he got a lisp out this motherfucker. Got me feeling all Tysonist and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna knock him out. I swear to God, I'm gonna eat his kids. I swear to God. But shout out to the cast. Shout out to Mike Tyson. I swear to God, I just bit his ear off. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was like another person in the ring. I mean, I'm to myself now, but, you know, I didn't really mean it. I mean, I apologized to Amanda after. He was a little mad at me. So I gotta look at Mike Tyson Mercury. You gotta see where that lisp come from. I know some Mercury squares in there or something. That motherfucking tongue just stuck to the top like a motherfucker. But Aries in retrograde in the 10th house, the most hardest thing to come to grips with this year for Aries rising was you to realize, like, okay, I could be clear with my intention as to what I want in the 10th house, but I gotta be with this shit for the long haul. All right. And this is a very significant house for you, of course, Aries rising, because, you know, square sign Capricorn is here. So this house could be annoying for you at times, because as an Aries rising, you thrive off your creativity. So a lot of celebrities, that's Aries risings, like some Aries risings could shoot right to fame or shoot right into, you know, being known for something, starting career paths or whatnot. Because Aries is so active in the first house, it can unintentionally manifest career because it's just active. If Aries rising has a creative ability, like they got to shoot it out in some type of shape or form, and that could create the opportunity for them to be seen in some type of shape or form. But what happens for Aries risings is they get into that 10th house, then a motherfucker says, all right, so we want to sign you to this record label. This is the contract. Then now Aries is like, all right, what's all this extra shit? Like, I can't just make the song, y'all pay me, and then that's it. I make another song, y'all pay me again. Like, what's all this? Yeah, y'all say I may have to get a lawyer to read this, and then the percentages is like, I just want to let's just make this shit 1, 2, 3. It's like, motherfucker, Aries rising, sit your ass down. We need to deal with this contract, but we need to figure these royalties out. Shit don't work like that. Shit do not work like that all the time. I know shit's fast like that in your first house. but we need to get ours too. Shit. So this the motherfucking contract. Like I said, you got 30 days. Go get a lawyer if you need to. Sit your fast, rapid, moving ass, creative ass down. This is how the real world works. Aries rising. Okay? This is how the real world works. Either you taking this fucked up 360 deal or not. All right? I ain't got time to be playing around with you knowledgeable ass, wise artists and shit want to dissect the contract. What happened to all the artists that just signed this shit? Can't stand the age of Aquarius, all you enlightened ass motherfuckers. Motherfuckers want to read contracts now. That's that Aries rising. That's what create them transformations in Aries rises life at time and shit. You know, motherfucker that's offering the contract start feeling away like, who the fuck is this person? Everybody just comes to sign the contract, but this motherfucker want to come be mad individual, want to be mad defensive and guarded up and not align with it. Just sign the fucking contract so I could just profit off your stupid ass, off your stupid talented ass. Aries rising, not as Aries rising, don't be going for it. Aries rising, don't be going for it. All right, I'll take my 30 days, go get this lawyer, figure this shit out, trying to rush me. But that's what Aries got. This is, you may experience this as an Aries sun. You may go through this in your life as an Aries sun. Every time you feel like you build the momentum with a strong creative passion, aspiration, it comes a point you got to deal with some other tedious shit you don't want to deal with. You got to sign this person. You got to hire this person. You got to get this resource. You like, I just want to get to the studio, make the music, and have people hear my music. What's all this other shit? You feel me? So Aries risings, while Pluto's going retrograde, you are making sense of a lot of these type of situations, working through these things, working through the practicalities of how you structure your life based off of utilizing your awareness, your creativity, your talents, what you're already doing within the career field. It definitely may have put you in a space where, you know, once again, this may have been a little tough year career-wise for, what's the name? Aries risings, if there was a lack of intention in the 10th house. If you was floating in the 10th house, you may have experienced some extreme situations here to push you to have some focus in the 10th house. All right. You know, so that's what we got going on with that. That's what we got going on with that. You may have understood some true hidden intentions and agendas in the 10th house as well. May start realizing like, my manager and boss act like they really fuck with us. Motherfuckers don't really fuck with us. Like you might start again behind the scenes with shit with career or whatnot. It may be you may be in a certain industry about something. You know, you may be like in the fashion industry. You're part of a fashion company and you like trying to climb up the ranks in the fashion company. You a model or something, and you finding out, you know, other people in the modeling company you're in are doing, you know, the behind the scenes shit to get more publicity from the company. And then you just realizing that you feel me, you was never going to grow in this company. So you're going through these transformations. Now you're seeing where to individually assert yourself to expand some more in the 10th house, seeing where your space could thrive more individually in the 10th house. Like, so situations like that, if you're Aries rising, you know, understanding like, all right, this ain't the environment. Like, okay, all right, I got to be more clear, you know, as to what I want in this department, in this job, in this career space to feel like, you know, I'm getting what I need out of this situation, or just getting, once again, really making sense of the practicalities when it comes into what you are creating or anything attached to business, how you're known, right? How you project yourself to the world. All right. Once again, may have been some situations that you brought understanding to either certain intentions, hidden agendas amongst things that you're building or within the workspace. So now with Pluto going direct, you should have more clarity as to how to assert yourself in the 10th house. There should be more clarity as to why you experience certain transformations or changes and why certain things was on hold in the 10th house, why you felt like this certain brand, business, or where you're at in career, where it should be different. Pluto going direct these next couple of weeks, if not already been resonating during, if it hasn't already been resonating during retrograde process, you're going to start realizing like, damn, this was holding me back in career, or this was stagnant because I needed to understand this or go through this change and transformation. Now I feel more equipped to assert myself or have a certain intention with what is it I want to do in career. What is it I want to major in? What is it that I want to what type of niche I want to have on YouTube? I went to all these different Pluto on the 10th house. So you've been going through career transformations the past couple of years. You've been going through career transformations. So now with Pluto going direct, there should be some clarity and actually more of a comfortable space as to at least what current intention you have now as to what you're building. It may be still a little hard to see what the results is gonna, how shit gonna pan out, but at least you feel more somewhat stable spiritually as to what you are doing in the 10th house. This is the space you should be in right now, Aries rising. I'm gonna be honest with you. You should be in this space right now. Worst case scenario. Like, all right, I don't know how this shit gonna work out, but I know this is what I'm doing. All right. We want to at least know what we're doing in the 10th house. There we go. So that's what we got going on. And remember, any extreme career transformations you've had this year, they needed to happen. They were either pushing you to be more disciplined and more clear as to what happened, what you need to do in this 10th house. But sometimes with Pluto being retrograde or whatnot, it has to shake this house up some more for you to be more attentive towards these things. Okay. So that's Pluto there. And then Capricorn in the 11th house. This is my, what's the name? This is my Pisces rising. Pisces risings. With Pluto going retrograde in the 11th house, you are revising the intentions of people that are in certain group environments that you're a part of, like certain group environments, certain group work that you're a part of, communities that you're a part of. It may have been potential for extreme transformations and changes in this space or amongst these relationships and these people. The 11th house deals with the external realm, abstract thinking, thinking out the box, the unknown, people we don't know, what's unfamiliar to us, but being out in the world, seeing what's out in the world. With Pluto being retrograde here, you may have went through certain shifts processing how you put your individuality out in the world, how you need to set more of an intention or feed more of an intention, being more proactive, connecting something that you're into out in the world. You may feel like you need to be more intentional about expanding your local surroundings, expanding what you're familiar with, whether it's your creativity, something that, a belief, because the 11th house is a spiritually inclined house. So it may have been certain shifts throughout the year. You felt like you need to put yourself in more of a position to be in a like-minded space with people that's into a certain belief system, something that you're building or working on. All right. Pluto in 11th house, you may have experienced some spiritual breakthroughs with Pluto going retrograde around this time, because it may have made you reprocess things dealing with certain relationships in your life. And it may have also made you reprocess certain things about certain beliefs, certain things that, you may be into from a spiritual perspective. You may start to find the correlation as to things that you're intrigued by on a spiritual level and actual personal life experiences. And, right now with Pluto going direct, I believe you're definitely Pisces risings. You're definitely gonna, if you don't feel it now, start to feel yourself resonating with, once again, more of a low tolerance for people that you don't really correlate with mentally, people that you can't feel yourself really building with from a certain perspective. Pluto got you feeling like Pisces rising. You need to be more intentional about who you share time with, who you associate yourself with. Pisces rising, you need to know that just because that person possesses something that feels good, the relationship itself, the business environment itself ain't healthy. Definitely a lot of intentions. Yeah, definitely. Once again, a lot of intentions revealed amongst people in your life overall, because this is an air house. So with it going retrograde, you may have started to realize that thing that you've been working on for the past year and a half. You starting to realize this year, when I got really concentrated or focused on connecting that goal or that gift or that awareness or that talent into the outside world, I started realizing how the people in the outside world are more receptive, or how they are affected by what I put out versus the people that's close to me. This is something that you definitely was revising and realizing and probably downloading a lot around this time, and probably going to continue to super download these next couple of weeks, seeing the difference on how your individuality is receptive when you throw it out in the world in comparison to people that already know you. So that alone may have created a lot of shifts on your perspectives and your psyche towards relationships in your life. This what could kind of that type of phase, Pluto going through that type of phase, that puts you in a space where you start to become more intentional about being in the 11th house, because you start to feel like, damn, other motherfuckers is on my type time individually, or there's other people that do relate to my beliefs, or there's other people that I can share my intention with to help build what is it that I got going on, or help build community, or help relate with in some type of shape or form. So either relationship was transforming and shifting because you realize the groups, relationships, and partnerships you're a part of now don't share your personal intentions, right? Or they distract you from those certain things, and people that enable you with bad habits and bad environments. These are all situations you felt heavy energy from while Pluto's retrograde to reprocess. At the same time, resulting in you feeling more encouraged to push your energy out in the 11th house to build more tribe. All right. But building tribe comes with the transformations and potentially putting death to old relationships. Let's keep it funky and remember what Pluto represents. All right. So, all of y'all water rising signs may have experienced some relationships getting put to death sometime this year, and it may have been in the name of differences with long-term intentions, differences within something that's an issue within one of the parties' subconscious. One of the parties can't dive deep. One of the parties not emotionally invested is Pluto. So it may result to the subconscious. It may result into a clash of individuality, but in some type of shape or form, Pluto has the potential of bringing that to the houses in, especially if it's in the air house, because we know the air house is already dealing with how you relate with others. All right. So Pisces rising, I don't want to see you in these streets just sharing your time with anybody, Pisces rising. If I catch you, Pisces rising, if I catch you at Walmart with somebody, I need to know what you doing here, Pisces rising. Now I'm just coming here to pick this up. This person's with me because I'm finna help them do this, that, and the third, and they finna pay me for it. Okay, all right, Pisces rising. I'll see you later. I don't need to see you floating out here just doing anything with anybody. Make sure your time compensated for. Make sure if you're building things, this is another thing. Last thing I'm gonna say here. Any group environment, you're building things with people, Pluto retrograde help you to understand how to assert yourself to get your piece of the motherfucking pie. Don't think Pluto retrograde, they're gonna let motherfuckers take advantage of you in this house. It's gonna put you in situations potentially to understand what manipulation and partnerships look like. Let's not get it twisted. Pluto got the potential to do that in 11th house, and most likely you got Pluto 11th house, Pluto transiting here, you most likely experienced that already. You most likely experienced like, okay, damn, motherfuckers really got their own agenda, and they really try to psych me up and use me to be a part of this shit without me knowing, like, or they really try to use my energy or my presence or my resource to get this shit popping and act like that's not what they really doing. I know that's why they want me a part of this. Like, so Pluto retrograde have you going through that shit, really like, seeing peeping game and shit, seeing peeping real true intentions in this motherfucker. All right. So Pisces rising, I don't want to catch you on the streets with nobody. I don't want to catch out. I catch you in the streets with somebody. I want to know everybody. You better know everybody's social that you buy, that you with. Can't be out here floating right now, Pisces rising. A lot of potential to get that tribe. You probably developed a lot of tribe, period, these past couple of years overall with Capricorn here, overall. So that's what we got going on with my Pisces risings. And to wrap it up, Aquarius risings in the building. Capricorn transiting the 12th. All right, I said Capricorn in the 12th house. Pluto transit in the 12th house. All right. Now, with what we got going on here. So Pluto retrograde in the 12th house has put you in a state this year. First of all, you definitely have potential to be in a deep, isolated space. Pluto retrograde in the 12th. You know, Pluto going retrograde in the 12th, revising things at the 12th house. But get it, remember, once again, Pluto get into the meats and potato of things, Pluto penetrating deep. So you have it in the 12th house, subconscious house. Whatever the depth of that water is, Pluto gonna make sure to get there. All right. So the depth of everything that affects you know, the root foundation of everything that affects your dreams, aspiration, you know, the things that influence you to be hesitant with your dreams and aspirations. Oh, yeah, we brought some understanding to that with Pluto being retrograde. We brought some understanding to that with Pluto being retrograde. We had some long nights looking at the ceiling, wondering why we not living that dream. Why we not living the process of manifesting that dream. It's probably some long nights looking at the ceiling, Aquarius risings, Pluto in that 12th house. It definitely was a lot of potential for some spiritual breakthroughs as well, some transformations. All right. Well, what is it that you want to you know, aspire to manifest in some type of shape or form? You know, different transformations with your belief systems. You know, you having to look at what you believe in a more evolved sense, thinking that, you know, there's more to what you're learning or there's more to experience with something. All right. But, you know, when it comes into the state of intention you have in the 12th house with Pluto being retrograde, these are the things that were definitely pushed to the surface. So if you felt like when any type of creative endeavor, anything that needs healing, all right, anything that needs you to be more proactive, trying to bring understanding to it, but experiencing it as well. The 12th house also has influences on experiencing, all right, because we're dealing with the subconscious, right? Jupiter adapts on influences, but we're dealing with the subconscious. But dealing with the subconscious and processing the astral realm, eventually that leads into, you know, its connection into real time. The 12th house is just, you know, that mirror of reality. Look at the opposite house, the 6th house. That is reality. That's a reality house. We're dealing with motherfucking order, routine. You ain't got no 6th house. Good luck trying to get anything popping in the earth realm. Good luck. Good luck. Maybe you just get popping one day out of something and then you could continue to live a reckless, rich life. But, you know, I ain't never really see it go down like that. You feel me? If you could do some shit like that, let me know. Usually when I see success, usually when I see an individual manifesting some type of success in this realm, there's usually some 6th house tendencies to point out. Even if they ain't the most organized schedule motherfucker, they probably could tell me I clocked my 10,000 hours in that shit in that business or that brand that you see me blow up in. No, I may not have the best sleep schedule. I may not have the best diet, but I tell you this, I was in that hours. I put 10,000 hours in that studio. I put 10,000 hours studying this, that, and the third before I started teaching it and getting booked and building a brand or business or this, whatever, you know? So, yeah, with Pluto being retrograde in the 12th house, listen, the potential to be in a very deep, isolated space while it's being retrograde is big time, because it's not just processing the intentions of things that you didn't do in your 12th house. It's not just processing what to be intentional about in your 12th house, right? It's not even about that. It's also about get into the insecurities, all right? That's not talked about a lot in the 12th house at times, you know? You can't have a house dealing with your dreams and imagination and the aspirations. What you think the other shift or the dark shift or of that house could be? Massive insecurities, you know, massive resentment, feeling lost in the 12th house. These are the results of somebody not aligning with their dreams, not feeding their dreams, not living their aspirations. That's the result of it. So with Pluto retrograde here, yeah, there's definitely potential for, you know, you having them couple of weeks just looking at the ceiling, feeling lost, feeling like, damn, one of these days I'll have to get up and set a real intention on how I'm going to use my creative energy or what now, or what my aspirations and shit. You start reminiscing, you start sinking into the past with all that 12th house shit. Motherfuckers start remembering everybody that told them they talented with that shit. It's like, damn, I'm bugging. Mad people do tell me I'm good with this shit. Mad people told me I should have started that shit to stand the third. But Pluto on the 12th, you sinking though. You sinking deep though. You could sink deep. All right. So through all those different shifts, through all them different downloads, and now that Pluto's going direct, there should be more of a clear intention as to what even be making you go to that dark space that you was in potentially at times with Pluto being retrograde. You probably have way more clarity. Like, yo, listen, I realize when I ain't fucking with my pastimes, when I ain't connecting to things that creatively fulfill me, I realize I go through some crazy ass shifts. And you got Capricorn in the 12th house, Aquarius. So Capricorn in the 12th house, what's the point of dealing with all the dreams, imagination without the aspect of building it up, making it a reality and structuring it. But that's where a lot of the frustration comes from. Aquarius rising, Capricorn in the fucking 12th house. That's where a lot of the frustration comes from. It's a real positive energy here. It's a sextile. So, having Capricorn in the 10th house, this is somebody that's going to have influences of being realistic as what resources they could use and how they could bring dreams into reality in real time, being able to really process the time frame to these things. Like, okay, you have this dream, you have this aspiration to be a rapper, an influencer. It takes time to build a brand. It takes time to get your music across to other people. You're going to have to invest some money. You're going to have to invest some money in marketing, paying for ads. You're going to have to stay consistent, staying in the studio to keep your flow right. Some tracks is not going to hit. You're going to have to try the next single. So Capricorn in the 12th house, especially if the ruler of Saturn is not dealing with any bad activity, any bad aspects, this would be the positive energy of Capricorn harmonizing in more of a sextile space in the 12th house. That realistic approach or realistic influence in the 12th house. So you would actually be surrounded by people that may be resourceful or may be experienced, that may be connected in some type of shape or form when it comes to things with your creativity. So it's Capricorn in the 12th house, not Saturn in the 12th house. Saturn in the 12th house is that person. Capricorn in the 12th house is surrounded by that. So when they jump into their 12th house and their creativity, they may be around people that's, damn, I'm creative, but this person is actually like signed and they got their music streaming and they're more professional, they're more structured, they're more organized. So you see these examples around you, and this is what creates this what creates those tendencies or that character in the 12th house to be more practical, be more professional, be more organized and structured with your creativity, with your imagination, with your dreams, but also pacing it, learning how to pace yourself with not frustrating yourself with how you're building these things. Capricorn, another one. Yeah, you say all that Saturn shit, but Capricorn still is the Mars exaltation place. So Saturn, sometimes Mars, Capricorn be having to learn, how to stay situated in that thing that they passionate about, but Saturn at times, they going to be, Capricorn placement is going to be patient for what they want to build. They're going to be patient for what they want to build. You try to involve them in your passions or some shit, it's like, all right, but you got to be paying me accordingly. My time don't come like this. Like, if my time ain't going to my personal passions or some shit, it's a different mood of Capricorn in. So you got to make sure you gracefully compensating their ass. All right. But yeah, so those are just some of the shifts you may have experienced with Pluto going retrograde in the 12th house, definitely revising how to assert yourself more with certain aspirations you have, getting to the foundation of certain insecurities. Once again, understanding why you're hesitant dealing with 12th house aspirations, understanding like, damn, I ain't really never get that support from my mom, from my father, from my family home environment, this, that, and the third, or my moms and fathers always put me at competition with my sibling, or this, that, and the third, or that one relationship I got into, this, that, and Pluto does that. And retrograde in the 12th house, Pluto finna do shit like that. You finna get to that understanding. It's not just about the fact that you lack intention. No, Pluto go deeper than that. Why? There's a reason why we just have these aspirations sitting in here. We're not intentional in the 12th house, and we're not putting ourselves in a position to go through changes and transformations for these dreams, for these aspirations. I'm ready to go through changes for these motherfucking dreams, but where the intention at? You feel me? So and another thing with Pluto going retrograde here is definitely a lot of downloads as to why you went through them changes and transformations, and why you had to fight for certain things and go through power and control issues for your dreams and aspirations. Pluto want to see how much you really, how much you was really on really concentrated or focused or aligned with that certain intention, with that aspiration. You know, Pluto forcing us to fight for that shit in some type of shape or form. So it definitely may have been a lot of new downloads when it comes into how your ability to shake off the insecurities or shake off the heavy past experiences and not let that cloud what it is you're setting an intention on now. All right, all that deep end waters you may have swum through a little bit, may have felt a little eighth house. The waters may have felt a little, the sea level may have felt a little eighth house-ish recently with Pluto being retrograde in the motherfucking 12th house. All right, so we want to understand, although you went through all them shifts and you had to fight for your aspirations to get to the point that you're at now, show universe, God, and stamp Pluto in and reinforce the fact that you're willing to go through these transformations, for these dreams, for these goals, for your belief system, for the thing that gonna bring you fulfillment, experiencing it or learning it, allowing yourself to learn it and explore it, your imagination, the 12th house. All right, and especially understanding how other people's subconscious influence you and enable you and persuade you, because the 12th house deals with how you pick up the emotions of others. With Pluto in the 12th house, it could be different type of situations transiting here and retrograde, where you start to realize how people emotionally may emotionally manipulate you, aka project certain energies on you to get you to align with certain things, be a part of certain things, participate with certain things. 12th house kind of has influences dealing with connecting and relating to. So you start to realize how you don't want to be around certain vibrations and certain influences with other individuals, because it may feel like it's heavy on your spirit, it's draining in some type of shape or form. So Pluto is going to have a lower tolerance here once again for people that don't align with them personal aspirations, don't align with things that make you feel heavy internally, don't align with things that you feel like feed insecurities for your dreams and aspirations. Once again, you want to do this, that, and the third, and you around a certain friend right now, and they not saying that they're hating on your shit or saying like, damn, you really want to do that, this, and that, third, you really want to be a YouTuber, you really want to do the fashion designer. Like, it's not, they don't have to be given that energy. Just the fact that they might not be that excited, supportive of your shit, whatnot, that might push you into like a heavy, isolated energy right now. Like, I ain't sharing none of that shit with nobody. Like, I'm really on my own time, so don't get discouraged by the lack of being able to relate these things. You concentrate on that shit some more. Pluto's going to create potential in the 12th house for it to get related to other individuals. This is the 12th house. This is the astral realm. Everything is connected. Everything's out in the open. You throw something up there, it's going to touch something. It's going to touch another star. It's going to touch another constellation. You feel me? It's going to get related in some type of shape or form. All right, so overall, that's what you may be experiencing, Capricorn, in the 12th house. It's the Lucky Libra checking out, family. Once again, I hope y'all had a great start to the week. Y'all some real ones rocking out till 1 a.m. on a moon night. All right, happy Mars Day. Okay, don't slap nobody today. Don't go upside nobody's head today. Get to work early. Mars placements be late. All right. But y'all already know the vibes, guys. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. All right. Y'all know I be appreciating the participation from all of y'all. And I'm going to check in with y'all tomorrow. I'm definitely going to throw the premiere. I'm probably going to put the premiere up before I go to sleep. But we definitely going to get into alignments in the, relationship karma, relationship pinpoints in the natal chart. We really going to get to the basics. We're going to make this like real class-like influence tomorrow. All right, family. All right, guys. Peace.